It's the Real Ass Podcast. It's your boy, Louis J. Gomez.
We're with Rattlesnake, Real Ass Dude, Ultimate Minority, Joan Jett of Comedy. I got a lot of names.
International superstar Zach D'Amico. How you doing, buddy?
He's funny, he's a psycho, he's a real ass dude.
I was double teaming this chick with her husband. Now he's selling coke in heaven.
Are you fucking ready, motherfuckers?
It's the only real podcast left out there.
What the heck is bothering me? 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. What the heck is bothering me? 3, 2, 1.
What is that?
1, 2,
Where'd you
3.
learn that?
My ex-girlfriend, who was a fucking moron, taught me that, and I guess she learned that maybe from Frasier or Seinfeld or something. It's like when you get, it's like a little thing you repeat to yourself when you're angry.
You know, that actually sounds like a great idea. That could have come in handy about half an hour ago.
Well, why are you angry, first of all?
I've calmed down at this point. And before we even get into this story, can I say something?
Sure.
When you talk about, I was removed from the Hilton Hotel in Penn's Landing, Philadelphia, forcibly removed. And
Officers at all?
No, they wish.
No, it's Philly. What do you think? The cops show up when you call them?
Dude,
that's the one
gave
thing.
them so
That's the
much
one
time.
thing you can be sure of.
They did call the cops. They called over and over and over again. I watched. Remember the other guy? He's calling in. He's like, "Please, just get here, please." I'll say this. I'll take 75% responsibility on this.
It's big of you.
What happened?
I'll tell you. Welcome to the Real Ass Podcast. It's your boy, Louis J. Gomez. It wouldn't be, a weekend with Louis if something didn't happen. And, I'm learning and I'm growing, and I feel good about this. We got a great show planned. Kurt Metzger's here on the road. We're here in Philadelphia at the Punchline Philly. Get tickets if you guys are listening to this on Gas Digital. We got a few tickets left. And also hanging out with our good friend Matt McCusker.
What up?
Matt and Shane Secret podcast fame. He's actually fucking doing us a solid and helping us out with this setup here at Brian Six's place. You guys are these are the shit, man. I love Philly guys are cool dudes if they're cool dudes. Otherwise, they're the worst piece of shit on earth.
It's pretty fair.
It's a spectrum of like either the coolest guys you'll ever meet, like real good.
Always
fucking
Sunny is
guys.
like a pretty accurate show to a degree.
I agree. Or you know what? Maybe there are some people that live their life on that spectrum where they're good people that do really, really shitty things as well. I'm sure that exists in Philly.
Philly's just like a grimy town. I mean, that's the appeal of Philly.
There's a lot of guys who are like date raping in the 90s, and you're like, all right, they're not a bad dude, though. He just didn't know.
That was the name of my band in high school. Day Raping in the 90s.
90s day rape?
Yeah.
Okay.
We are Day Raping in the 90s. Thank you.
Look, it was a trying morning. I wake up, I'm in a bad mood, and
Why were you in a bad? Wait, why'd you wake up in a bad mood?
I sometimes just I have a lot going on. So if things just don't go exactly the right way, I just get myself in a mood. And what happened was we were supposed to do this podcast at 2. This all happened. Let me explain to you how much happened.
Listen, if you made terrible decisions over and over again, you would wake up in a bad mood too.
That's what I say. If a man is right, his world is right, dude.
For no apparent reason. Sabotage yourself every day. It
This
Yeah,
happened
sure.
so quickly. You have to understand, like I texted Metzger. I was like, Metzger, I'm going to go downstairs and get food. I'm going to order an Uber.
I thought I was late. I was like, oh shit, Louis is probably waiting for me impatient.
We were 15 minutes away when we were supposed to be here when this all started to unfold.
Sure.
The fact that we're even doing a podcast right now is crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
It's quite the emotional journey. So I sort of am in a bad mood already. I'm a little bit grumpy. I will admit that I'm grumpy.
What happens when you're grumpy when you wake up? Like what?
I'm just a little bit attitudey, especially with customer service. Now, the problem was, and if I'm just a stickler for good customer service.
Sure.
And everyone at the Hilton in Penn's Landing, this is the first point and the first problem. They're not happy about their jobs.
Okay.
They're not happy. None of them. Not a single person. What is a hotel? What do you call it? What is that? What type of business is that?
The hospitality.
The fucking hospitality business.
So no, they can't be grumpy.
They can't. They don't have the ability to be grumpy. They're not allowed.
You're paying good money to wake up and be like,
I'm paying money to be grumpy.
You're going to wake up and be like,
Right. Yes, I know this is a cunty bitch thing to say.
No, you're grumpy.
But I'm
Look, you have to
paying money.
understand. Look, you have to understand something. Louis is a Toys R Us kid.
I never grew up.
He doesn't want to grow up. I couldn't be grumpy at Hilton.
So you come down the lobby, you're in your robe, you're grumpy. What happens?
I've already saunaed at this point. I've already what I did was
This was post sauna. This is
post sauna. This is how angry I was. I was angrier. Imagine had I not saunaed.
Sure.
Imagine.
So what happens? You're mad.
So I'm already grumpy, and I roll a joint. I'm like, all right, when I'm in a grumpy mood, a joint always helps me. Or I roll a big fat blunt, actually, in the room. And then I go, this is so crazy. All right, so I go downstairs, and I go to order food. I go to order shrimp tacos and a soup.
Okay.
And the woman's not there at the bar. There's supposed to be a bartender behind the bar. So I was like, all right, what the fuck is she at? So I go over to the person at the restaurant. I was like, hey, can I just order something to go? They're like, no, I got to wait for the bartender. I was like, all right, but I've been here a few minutes already. Now, for me, like I said, 10 minutes. It was maybe a minute and a half tops. But once again, I'm grumpy and I'm angry and I'm on edge. And I'm just like, every second feels like a full 30 seconds.
Sure.
And she's not there, okay? And I just want to have some soup and be in a better mood, okay?
Sure.
And she's like, and I was like, all right, can you see where she's at? Because I'm kind of in a hurry. I got to be out of here in 15 minutes. I said that to the one girl, right? Mm-hmm. So then she goes back, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. Now, what feels like another 15 minutes goes by, maybe 2 minutes. She finally comes back. She saunters back, and just very slow, blah, blah, blah. And I already told her I'm in a hurry. So I'm like, hey, yeah, can I just order some soup? I know what I want, some shrimp. And she goes, hey, just so you know, she told me I got to be out here in 15 minutes. She was like, the kitchen's probably going to take longer than that. And I go, that's fine. Just let me just order the food. She's like, well, I'm just letting you know. I was like, miss.
So she was being very helpful.
No, she wasn't. She was now wasting more time.
Nah, she was seeing if you were being a time liar. She was like, this guy said 15 minutes. I'm going to tell him 20 and see what's up.
Dude, I like that. I like that.
Liar.
Yeah, I've never heard that. A time liar.
Oh, time
you know what
liar.
you are? A time liar. I'm definitely a time liar.
You're like, oh, dude, I'm right
liar.
down the street. You look at your thing, like, I'm 25 minutes away. You're like, I'm 15 minutes away.
You want to know the biggest time liar tell?
Dude, that's like
When
almost
they
like
say
a time traveler. It's an amazing.
When biggest time liar tell is when they say, I'm like 15 minutes away.
Oh, yeah.
If they use the word like, you know they're fucking time lying.
Yeah, dude.
What are you doing? You know what time it is. Get the fuck out of here.
Dude, that would be a great show, and then like it set up like a sci-fi thing, and it's like a like a clock flies in the screen, and it's like, and they're like cool, like ooh, ooh, like music, and the guy like, I'm 5 minutes away.
Yeah. Like, where is he? He's just getting gas. It's like the Upside Down from Stranger Things. Just
I got fired from my
He
last
solves
day
murders.
job. My last day job for a time, like, well, I was lying. Actually, what I would do is I was working in gym sales, and I put my forwarding onto my cell phone because I live like 3 blocks from the gym. So I would just sleep, and then if the phone would ring, I'd be like, whatever the gym's name was.
Yeah.
And
At your grumpiest is when you would do this?
yes.
Did you at least have some fish tacos first?
And some soup.
Hold on, I gotta have my breakfast soup.
Eat some clam chowder in the sauna. I'll be right back.
Don't even talk to me till I get a soup in me.
Look at a fat blunt and a soup.
Oh my dear God.
You probably answered the phone like, what?
Maybe I'm more than 75% wrong. We'll see.
You were selling gym memberships.
I was selling gym memberships at that
So
time.
you were coming out of like REM sleep and be like, oh, hi, LA Fitness.
Yes. It's New York Health and Racket Club. And my manager one day called me. He was like, hey, what's going on? How's it going? I was like, yeah, I'm doing my thing, getting sales on the board, getting ready to go. And he's like, oh, yeah. He's like, what are you doing right now? I was like, I'm at my desk, just chilling. He was like, I'm sitting at your desk. And I was like,
my other desk. She's like, I'm at my other desk.
Yeah. No, and I said nothing to say. And then I was fired. I literally just didn't think ahead at all, like what I would do if that ever happened.
You should have said you had a
sound like
satellite office.
Sounds like Homer Simpson. We're like, don't say pornography. Don't say. I was at buying pornography. No.
So, all right. Anyway, so the girl, she took us, and she still hasn't put it in. And now I'm going like, all right, you're just wasting more time. I'm ready. Like, I was here, in my mind, 45 minutes ago, waiting to order this stuff. 7 minutes. But now it's like we're going to be late. At this point, we're almost definitely going to be late to come
By the
to
way,
this podcast
late for a
with you.
podcast at someone's house that we were late and it was fine. So you can see the absolute no urgency of this. You can see how necessary this entire episode was.
God.
Great, now I'm late for this guy's house.
Dude, it was. You're right. You're right. I can't argue with you, Kurt.
Wait, listen, the hotel.
By the way, being kicked out has so you know, it has nothing to do with the fish tacos. It has nothing to do with even that girl.
Finish
it just
your
keeps
story.
going. It's just a series of unfortunate events just kept on happening. Okay, and I'm already grumpy. So at this point, I'm like, Miss, please just put in the order. I gotta go. All right, please. I don't want to talk anymore about it. I don't want to hear about it. So I'm just trying to help you. I was like, please, Miss. She's still doing it. She hasn't touched
her.
So far, she's giving you great customer service.
No,
is the
she's
story.
not. She's now 7 times. She just keeps on going with. I'm like, lady, put in the fucking order. It's like when you're arguing with your girlfriend and she's like, I'm upset. I was like, what are you upset about? She's like, well, you know what? I'm upset. I'm like, just say it.
By the
Just
way,
fucking say
I
it.
like to point out, women find Lewis irresistible.
They really do.
Oh, yeah.
I do pretty well.
This is why he's not learning. You guys got to stop fucking him.
It's true. I'm fat and angry and mean.
You getting a lot of pussy lately?
I've been fucking ever since I've been single, dude. Dude, I got HIV, guaranteed.
Do you really?
Probably.
Oh, I thought you were saying like you knew you had it and you were
guys are
cursing
coming out.
Thanosing the world with you. Balance.
No.
So you scold like other women? Like
I didn't scold her. I just said, please, miss.
Yeah.
Scold to be
So
a little
then-
mild, you know?
Yeah.
No,
check
he
this out.
realized.
Go now.
Philly, you guys are fucking very chivalristic, apparently, right? So
I didn't think so till today.
so a guy at the bar is watching me scold this woman, and he goes, buddy, calm down.
He ate hashtag times up on you.
Yeah.
I am so glad you were not trying to explain yourself to the cops this way, because the story that you're telling is that there was no need for a problem, and you caused one at literally every step of the way.
Let's get so funny.
The only thing we can take away from this is you were
stopped
grumpy.
another problem at the end, which we got to say right when we're trying to leave, and you
Your
literally
Honor,
stopped me.
you have to understand, I didn't have my soup.
So a dude came and was like, I'm going to fuck you up.
He didn't say that. He was like, buddy. I was like, wait. And I literally looked at him with like fucking
I wish the guy said that. That would be so much
anger.
better.
I looked at him. I was like, hey, mind your business.
Sure.
I was like, I don't need your help. She doesn't need your help. I need my fucking soup and tacos. Thank you. And he goes, buddy, so let me buy you a drink. And I was like, I don't need a drink. That'll
Oh,
make
this
it
is
worse.
this is just an alcoholic.
Dude, just a
Just being
dude
like,
sitting
hey.
at the bar, at my hotel bar.
Oh, God.
Damn, dude.
Thank God the cops didn't come.
What if it was like?
What
What if
time-
it
what
was
time
actually
was this?
Mr. Hilton?
What time was
you remember in Home Alone 2 how it was the owner of the toy store who was actually working the register? It was actually the guy,
Undercover boss in you?
undercover fucking Hilton.
Dude, if you were on an episode of Undercover Boss being a bigger dickhead than your boss, that'd be so fucking funny. So some guy who was drinking at 11 a.m. was just like, what the fuck's this guy doing?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
Hey,
right.
What are you doing, dude?
Damn.
Hey, man,
And
what are
I-
you doing with your life?
I shut him the fuck.
Let me tell you how I deal with things. Sure, we all want our soup. I just come and drink at 11 and
It's like, I want to beat the fuck out of this lady too, but I'm getting drunk right now.
So he offers me a drink. I'm like, no, that's not gonna help me. Thank you, though.
Sure.
I sort of like,
soaking her panties, by the way, while this is doing.
this is the craziness. Though, 'cause I'm trying to fight this whole thing,
Sure.
right? So she gives me the receipt. I was like, thank you, though. I'm sorry. I don't mean. I was like, I'm just in a mood. I say that to him. I was like,
Sure.
look. She gives me. It's like a $23 bill. I tipped her $10 on $23 because I felt bad. Is that a good? That's a good tip. It's almost 50%, right?
That's good.
So
Little abuse and reward cycle.
then I go into my pocket. I was like, all right, let me go while I'm waiting for the soup.
Mm-hmm.
No, I go and smoke the joint. That's what happens. Or I go and smoke the blunt, right? Go smoke the blunt outside, calm down a little bit. I'm like, let me go up to the room and grab my stuff because now I'll just grab this. I'm grabbing the food to go anyway. I was like, I didn't have my stuff on me. I was like, let me just get it and then we'll leave from here because I thought I'd have time to go back up to my room and fucking eat soup, whatever. So I go reach in my pocket and I don't have my hotel room key. So I was like, damn it. So then I got to go over to the front desk of the hotel, and there's a black guy at the front desk, which, already annoying. And
He was bothering you right
yeah,
away.
I was like, come on, dude. Who do you think you are, bro? You think you're better than me?
He wouldn't give you the card?
The black guy in a suit. Doesn't it bother you? Come on. Admit it, guys. Everyone jump in on this. A black guy in a suit. How much does it bother you? Come on, everyone.
What specifically is it like that?
No,
gets you?
it didn't bother me. Here's what bothered me about this guy. Metzger, what are you doing? You fucking...
I got a text. Hold on.
Okay, no problem. So, the black guy behind the...
I lived it, so I.
Metzger's watching this happen now, by the way. No,
where
you
were
weren't
you
here yet.
during
You weren't
the
even there
initial-
yet.
there yet.
You weren't there yet.
Where were you during this time?
I texted him like, hey, dude, come on down. We're ready to go. He thinks just he's coming down to leave. And all of this is just happening and unfolding in between, like, we got to go, and I'm going to order some soup and tacos. This all unfolds, right? So I go up to the guy, I was like, hey, sir. And he goes, hi. Right as soon as he says hi, the phone rings. It goes, brrr, and he goes like that, and he picks up the phone. And I'm like, I was first.
Sure.
I was first. He should have answered that call. Can we all admit that he should have answered that call?
This is so crazy. It's so much. Listen, I didn't even understand how bad it was until you started trying to tell your side of it.
You
I
just
thought
caused
the
the
hotel
problem.
at least was a little bit responsible. You just created this whole situation.
Dude.
At every step of the way. Like, next step, I'm like, this is where they probably lost patience. No.
He's like, excuse me, sir, I take this call.
Oh, God, this is so bad. I'm
But
so
I'm
glad
in a
it doesn't
hurry.
come.
We got to be to you. We're running late to this podcast. My tacos are in. I got to go upstairs, get myself still waiting for Metzger. I'm about to be late for Metzger to be out in the lobby, okay? I'm trying to be a good fucking dude right now, okay?
Please don't do that again.
Yeah, I would have gladly waited an extra 15 minutes to spare everyone all that.
Oh, my God.
I went food shopping in that downtime. It was
And
perfectly
then,
fine.
again, it's late to a podcast in someone's fucking house in Philly.
So now I'm kind of like, I'm doing like,
What did you have to get to later?
I'm doing a bunch of tutting. I'm like,
Oh, you're giving him like tongue clicks and like
yeah,
mouth
like,
sucks.
Yeah, a lot of that, just to let him know, like, hey, dude, I gotta move it. I'm tapping my foot, like I'm bouncing.
Yeah.
I look a little crazy and jittery at this point. I'm sure to them. You know?
You give him a big like. Oh.
Here's what I'm realizing. At this point, all eyes are on me. I've created a bunch of scenes already in this hotel. The bar and the lobby are like in the same area. It's all sort of unfolding, and I don't realize how much they already are. Like, they're like, this guy's fucking nuts. There's no way he's staying at this hotel tonight. This isn't even the event. None of the events have happened yet, right?
Yeah.
So he puts on the phone. I'm like, yeah, I forgot my room key. I'm in a little bit of a hurry. Sorry. He's like, so do you have your ID? And I'm like, no, I don't. It's in the room. He's like, well, you know. And I was like, what do you mean, you know? That happens. I was like, I know this isn't the first time this ever happened in your life, okay? Sure. I know it happens. So I was like, just add, so he was like, hold on, I'll get security to come and walk you up to your room. Now, Kurt, answer me this question. Okay. You've been doing comedy for a long time. Yeah. Have you ever had security have to escort you to your room when you forgot your room key, or do they just look up your information and ask you a couple questions?
At a hotel, never.
Never in my life. I stay at hotels a lot. Mm-hmm. A lot. I forget my hotel room key almost every time I stay at a hotel.
Sure. Okay, but you understand, they don't know what they're dealing with at this point because a guy just lost his shit about soup. And every step to calm you down, you've escalated. Look, people don't know. These aren't the brightest people in the fucking world working at this hotel, dude, okay? So all they're seeing is some guy who's much bigger than them just flipping out, calming down over nothing.
True.
So they have no idea what you're going to do. This is Philly where people are like that. And you're lucky this is Philly because, one, the cops ain't going to show up for hours, okay? And two, people are fucking dirtbags here. They do crazy shit all the time.
So like this was pretty mild overall.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
It was. Honestly, I've seen so much dumber things. Mm-hmm. Like, thank God this is in Philly that you did.
But can I say what's going on? And already I have this in my head. Everyone has an attitude at this hotel. That's going to admit this. There's not a single fucking smile. It's a hospitality business. Fucking smile, bitch. I'm trying to feel good. I'm in a bad mood already.
Okay, dude. Here's what your honesty is just astonishing. Also, I have to say, it's what I love the most. Like, Lewis is. This is what's so crazy about this. Lewis is right now telling his side of the story.
I know.
And not one part of this can I give any of it to him.
No, my brain would have totally morphed this where I actually could have sounded. We're like, no, I was actually right.
Why? Holy shit!
You give a fair appraisal.
How are you so smart? Some shit, and this is insane.
It's my anger issues. Here's my problem. If I feel justified in my anger, it doesn't matter how small the transgression was. I will go really big.
Yes, and it's called Joe DeRosa syndrome. We're all familiar with it.
I get crazy.
What I can't believe.
This is what happened with Metzger. This is what I said to him. I was like, they were wrong first. When me and Metzger had that argument, I was like, Metzger, yeah, I probably was.
Okay, let me tell you something.
But he was wrong first.
Here's something.
The guy?
Lewis, let me tell you something that I've learned from years of dealing with women that I can't believe that you haven't learned with the amount of ass you crush. Okay? If somebody's 25% wrong or whatever, and then you're 75% wrong, you're 100% wrong. That's called how the fucking civilization works. Women invented it. That's why you're always wrong in that situation. Yeah. I don't know how you don't know this at this point. I can only assume a lot of neglect.
So I say to the guy after he gets security, I have to call security. I have to wait for security. Now I'm just like fucking like I gotta go. Now my soup's gonna be cold. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for security to come, and I say I can't. The guy's face, just this attitude in this guy's face, just like sort of looking down at his nose. And I said to him, I was like, hey, by the way, I was like,
he was looking up in terror. He was a very small man.
Was he really?
No, the black guy behind the counter.
Well, you probably set him off with those like.
I did.
You know what I mean? That probably activated all of his weird childhood
Still, doesn't matter.
stuff.
I'm still the
You're giving him like tongue sucks. He was probably like, duh.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Probably flash back to his mom fucking with him. This was like a whole weird trauma collective going on in the morning.
It was a dance between me and the Hilton Penn's Landing. I was leading that dance, but they were all dancing, all right?
Yeah, for sure. And you picked worthy opponents, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Couldn't we just get you to start like a breakdance battle when you're mad?
What about timeouts, dude? Just go outside and like...
So they...
Yeah, so you're there. So how did this whole thing escalate to you getting kicked out?
Good trick.
So,
pretty cool.
So security comes, and before security even gets there, I tell the guy behind the counter, I'm like, dude, just so you know, I was like, it's terrible service. I was the whole thing. I was like, every person, nobody's smiling in this place. I haven't seen a single person happy to be here. When I checked in, it was the same thing. It was a weird little attitude when I checked in, and I'm just going like, what is going on? I was like, it's supposed to be good customer service. I was like, I've never had anybody ever escort me to my room and have security escort me to my room. Now, you're right. As I'm thinking back now, they probably were like, this guy's a problem. Security should escort him anywhere he goes in this hotel, having nothing to do with even my interaction or me forgetting my room key.
Yeah.
But in my mind, all I'm seeing is that he's having security escort me to my room for my room key. So, which is weird. I'm telling you right now, it's bad service. Every bit of service that I've dealt with so far at the hotel is bad, and that's putting me over the edge, okay? So, security guard, this is where I know I'm right. He follows me up, and we get up to the room, and right before I give my ID to show him that it was my room, he goes, hey, man, let me talk to you. And I was like, what's up? He was like, you're right. He's like, these people are terrible. The security guard said this to me. I swear,
Okay.
he was like, this isn't even a real Hilton. This is managed by another company that's not Hilton. Okay, it was like it comes from the top down. It's like they're miserable. Nobody wants to work here. It was like, I just came from the Hyatt. This guy told me, this guy broke this fucking shit down, dude. I swear to God. Okay, and then I started going, yeah, dude, I am right. Now I'm even more justified. I'm like, he fucking was. He shouldn't have done that. He was bad there. He should have just had a united front. That's also bad management. Your fucking security's breaking fucking
my
squad.
God. He was trying. Wow, this is fascinating. Okay, this guy is trying to calm me the fuck down.
Sure.
So he's
using,
conceding
like,
a little bit.
Good cop.
And this maniac takes it as, I should get even more mad. I mean, they literally tried everything. Oh my God, dude, I've been in some bad customer service jobs.
Yeah.
And that would break my limits of what I could do to get the customer
Yeah.
what he the service he wants. You have tested the limits of it.
I just want to smile and I want some soup and some shrimp tacos.
Yeah, that's the other thing. These people, the employees, are living in a world where they're like dealing with customers. So like you're activating all their shit.
But that's what they do. Don't be in this world then. It's
they
Don't be in this world then.
They don't aspire for it, bro. They're like victims of circumstance.
Were you raised by wolves?
I was raised by ill-mannered wolves. Actually, they were the worst of the wolves in the
I hope
forest.
people are paying attention, man. You gotta really help your kids out because he just doesn't know. Like you just don't know, do you? That's a fact. How are you so savvy? It's unreal. The skills you have.
So, the guy, I'm like, hey man, thank you. We fist bump. He's like, I get it.
He's on
I
your
get it.
team now.
Yeah. So, just then, in this moment, I'm telling
Yeah.
you, it's just timing is such the fucking everything here, right? Knock on my door, cleaning lady. So, and she comes in the room, and I just come back in the room, and I'd rolled a really nice blunt, and I can smell the weed in the room. So when she comes in, I say to her, I was like, hey, just so you know, miss, I was like, I know it probably smells a little bit like weed in here. I was like, but I didn't smoke weed in the room. I just rolled in here. And she was like, oh, no. So then a guy in a suit happens to be walking by right then.
Yeah.
And I said, let me tell him this because
That's how they found out.
Jesus Christ, dude.
What? Are you having a Josh? It feels like you're doing a bit.
So you were like, I should tell these guys I have weed in my room. Why, dude? No.
What? Lewis,
Shut your door. Let them guess, bro.
this is probably the craziest thing that's ever happened since that hotel's been built. I thought that they followed you into your room and just were like being.
No, I think that other security guard was following me up there and keeping an eye, right? So listen to what happens. He kind of peeks in as I'm telling her this. I didn't just go get him.
Wait, the guy who came from the Hyatt was a triple agent now? Who
No,
was
no,
like,
Hyatt guy's gone. Another guy's there, okay?
Yeah.
Hispanic guy. And he, as I'm saying this, he walks by and I see him kind of peek his head in the room. So in that moment, I'm just going like, I was like, let me tell him what I'm telling her because I don't want to get charged $250 for weed smoke.
I couldn't write this. I could never. I mean, this is like, it really should be a television.
So I
show.
said to the
this
guy,
is like a series of unfortunate events where you're just creating them
Yeah.
as you go.
so he looks in the room and he was like, oh yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, I was just saying because I guess he saw me say weed or whatever. He looked up, and then I was like, I was just telling her, I was like, I rolled the joint in here so it smells a little bit like weed, but I didn't smoke. And he was like, no, you smoked in here. He was like, yeah, you're gonna be charged a fine. And I was like, no, I didn't.
But you smell like weed smoke because you just smoked a blunt.
But there was a decent amount of
I had a knot
time.
in my stomach.
There was a decent amount of time
it wasn't,
between
dude.
when I smoked that blunt. Yeah, because I had to go to the desk, I had to get the card, security had to walk
4
me out.
hours. All right, go ahead.
That's the part that you're picking apart. Is the timeline on the?
No, so you went from.
Well, I'm a known time liar,
That's
so
what I'm saying. So you were talking to the guy. Maybe 15 minutes elapsed.
3 hours.
That's what I'm saying. So now it's 4.5 hours.
2 days go by.
Oh
Dude,
God, this
you
is hurting
smelled
me.
like smoked weed, and he went in your room, smelled you, and went, "Now you smoked in here."
Well, fine. I didn't though. I
True.
didn't smoke in there. So I said to him, I was like, well, no, I didn't. I rolled a blunt in here. I was like, there's nothing smoked. I was like, and also I've been down this dance before And
fuck, dude.
I've been charged for smoking. I've been charged for smoking, and I've been charged for rolling weed in my room too.
Yeah.
They have to show physical evidence of smoking, not just smell. The smell can be what triggers them. They have to actually come in and see ashes, see some sort, and they have to take a picture. And they have to have proof. So I said, "Look, I'm here right now." I was like, "Where was I smoking?" And he was like, "No." He was like, "You." I was like, "Show me. Take pictures. Do whatever you got to do." So then he goes, and I'm getting like upset now. I'm like angry. But the other guy was on my side, right? I'm thinking about the
Where is
fist
he
bump.
now?
He's off. He's not on my back side anymore. Dude. He's fucking. He probably knocked me out. That piece of shit.
So you could have, if you videoed this, you could have went viral when you were
videoed
like
some
being
of it.
walked to your room. You could have been like, I can't believe this
by the way,
bullshit.
I'll show you guys the video and I'll play. There's no way I can post.
You
the video.
videoed it.
I videoed it. All right, I'll show you. I'll play the part of the video in the part of the story because it's coming up.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's like, this is with this guy. So I was like, yeah, no, I didn't smoke. I was like, you gotta. So he was like, yeah, you did. So I was like, no, I didn't. I was like, I had possession of marijuana. That's not. I was like, I can possess marijuana. He was like, no, you can't. Not in our hotel. It was like, I'm gonna call the cops. That's what he said.
Okay.
I was like, you're gonna call the cops?
That's, by the way, that's bullshit.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
This was a crazy. This when I went nuclear. This was the moment that I went nuclear. Okay.
Okay.
I was like, you're gonna call the fucking cops on me? I was like, I called them every name in the book. I was like, you fucking. I was like, you know, fuck for possessing
Nothing
marijuana.
racial though, right?
No, nothing
Okay.
crazy. Just
Okay.
like,
It'd be funny if you're videoing it. You're like, you motherfucker. You're like, oh, fuck.
I didn't even say faggot. I don't even say faggot anymore. I've taken that out of my
Sure.
angry because everyone's videotaping now, and I've been caught on
What'd you
camera
call him,
multiple
man?
times calling people faggots in anger.
Well,
What'd
Alec
you call
Baldwin did that. I mean, true.
It's what you say when you're angry. If you're fucking over 30, shut up.
So what did you say now? What did you say if you couldn't
I don't
use
remember.
that?
I'm cursing him out. I'm like, yeah, you're fucking. I was like, you're a piece of shit. You calling the cop because it was also not true.
Sure.
Okay, it was like they can't call the cops for possessing marijuana. Possession of marijuana in Pennsylvania is not even it's not even illegal. It's completely decriminalized. You can possess it. You can't.
Yeah,
smoke it
especially in
public.
Philadelphia, you can have
Yeah. So the whole thing was now sort of this standoff with this guy. So I'm like, well, I didn't smoke. I'm not paying. And I was like, so this is the moment. I'll show you the video because it's all sort of a blur at that point.
You took video of it?
I took video of me.
So it's like YouTube getting
Well,
pulled over by the cop and being like,
What is happening right now? Why would you take video of that?
I do not have to roll down my window, sir.
You know, maybe let's just not play that.
Oh no, do I not have the video?
Thank God there's no video.
Oh no, it only recorded 1 second. No.
What do you mean no? You don't want that video?
There you go. That's it.
Just scuffle. Oh man, I'm so
Damn,
annoyed.
dude. So you try to record the scuffle. You probably had your phone not
You
recording
had a
in his
scuffle?
face. You have your
Oh,
phone.
dude, I was chasing him. I was like,
Oh,
yeah.
that's so fucking funny,
I would have
dude.
been so good right now on the show. Oh, because I tell you right now, thinking back, I probably wasn't right in this moment. Whatever, I was gonna sound so wrong on this video. Damn it.
What are you doing?
Do you feel compelled to like change this dynamic you have with the world?
Yeah, I have.
Dude, not since when I toured Barry Crimmins, okay? Because Barry would fucking do such crazy shit with people. He was raped when he was 4 years old.
Okay.
Do you understand? That's like the level of trauma.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even approach what you're talking about right now. Every part of that was insane. Every part of that.
So I start cursing the guy. So I'm like, and I'm videotaping him, and I'm chasing him down the hallway because now he's leaving. I'm like, oh, so I was like, you're telling me that I didn't. You're admitting now that I didn't smoke on camera.
And your phone's not recording this whole time, which is so funny. Just the floor the entire time.
It's just not recording. I got a phone with fucking for no reason. So I'm yeah. Say it. So you're telling me right now on camera that I'm sounding like a lunatic. I'm like. You're saying I wasn't smoking, but you're saying I can't possess marijuana. I was like, now you're calling the cops. I was like, call the cops, motherfucker. Call the cops. So now I'm just yelling at him to call the cops. The doors are opening. Heads are coming out of their doors.
Oh, God.
I didn't
How
know
many
about
times-
any of this.
How many times you say call the cops?
A bunch.
If you said it, you probably were like one time short of like teleporting yourself into Walmart.
Maybe.
I'm genuinely worried about you.
I'm not
okay?
even done.
I know. I got a knot in my stomach.
Are you still? So you haven't approached the scene yet?
Kurt's about to be there. I come down to the elevator. Kurt's there.
Oh my God!
Kurt's waiting in
I
the elevator.
literally didn't know the half of it.
Kurt enters now.
Oh, it sucks. 'Cause you probably had his side. You probably had his back.
Kurt's uncomfortable being on the podcast right now.
I want to leave now.
So
you named the tour pretty good.
the dude. So what happened now? The guy did what?
So now this guy that I just cursed out, he's talking to like his boss or whatever. And then I put on my, I've calmed down a little bit. I was like, let me go get this guy in trouble because he's in the wrong, obviously.
Sure.
So the guy comes over to me. This guy's name is Alan. And he's like, what's going on here? And I was like, I was up in my room, and I was like, this guy comes in, and he's a real motherfucker, mind you. This is what I said to him. I said those words. He's a real motherfucker, mind you. And then he stops me there, and he goes, sir, I can't accept the type of language.
Yep.
That was not the right moment. It was just a bad moment to say. And I go, what are we, fucking children? You can't accept the type of language? I was like, I'm being harassed by one of your employees
that's
right now.
to fucking have a reason to eject you right away.
Of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course. I'm being ejected at this point.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm getting around this. It's happening.
What
right?
part of you knows what's going on when this is happening? Like, what part of you is like, you must be aware of that.
Sometimes I leave my body and I watch it happen, and the outer me doesn't even care really. It's like, yeah, go get him, dude.
Okay.
I kind of cheer myself on, you know?
So you like disassociate and just like go.
The devil on my shoulder killed the angel on my shoulder years ago.
So
And now
you're
it's
totally polarized towards
just
evil
the
now?
fucking devil
That's
in
tight.
my ear at all times. It's like, dude,
Okay.
call her a devil.
Imagine being in court and him saying this.
Dude.
You see, Your Honor, I'm a Toys R Us kid.
The devil killed the angel. It sounds like a bad tattoo.
Dude, I wanted to get, when I was younger, what was the yeah, I wanted to get, you know how Michael the Archangel stepping on the devil's head?
Yeah.
So I wanted to get the devil stepping on Michael the Archangel's head. It was going to be the opposite of it as a tattoo. We ended up making a Legion of Skank
I think
shirt.
you shouldn't do that. I think that you should affiliate yourself with Jesus and pray to him daily.
There's a Legion of Skank shirt, which that design where it's Satan stabbing Michael the Archangel and like through the heart in the back.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
You like that kind of stuff?
Fucking badass, dude.
I mean, yeah.
McCusker, stop pretending it's not badass.
I like Jesus. I mean, dude,
you don't like Jesus.
defying
Shut up, dude.
death.
You don't like Jesus.
Defying death and flipping the money changers tables. I'm kind of into that, dude.
Do you believe in Jesus?
Well, we can get into like a 20 minute.
That's the only reason we're okay right now is I prayed to Jesus this entire time.
I believe in what the ideas and teachings of Jesus 100%.
Metzger, let me ask you a question. So I come out of the elevator. What do you see at this point? What do you see? Like, because this is the moment where Metzger enters the scene, right? So I come out of the
sitting
elevator.
there waiting.
That all just happened. Metzger's been waiting.
I'm like, shit, did Lewis leave without me? He sounded like we were really in a hurry. We were later, by the way.
Oh my God.
So then I look at my scene. I'm like, oh, there's Lewis. And then like he's talking to some guy. I'm like, oh, what's this? Like I had headphones on though. I'm listening. Then I can hear him over my headphones. Like, fuck you, you sure motherfucker. And I'm like, oh, what? But I don't want to get up because I don't want to be implicated in this.
Sure.
And then he goes, Michael, what happened? He goes, you told me a summary of it that didn't tell the half of it. I'm like, but it did. Listen, it was a scene, but it didn't look like. It almost sounds more epic in his story. It's definitely a scene.
Sure.
It wasn't a scene of like where I'm like, oh God, we're gonna get shot or something, that kind of thing. But I was just like, oh God, this is a hassle.
So the cops have been called when we were up in the room already. The cops have been called. Now this is another 10 minutes have gone by. There's no cops.
Sure, dude. It's gonna take them at least
There's no
literally an hour and a half, bro.
thank
They're
you,
not-
Jesus.
I watched every
for this
employee
to be
call the
Philly?
cops.
Yeah.
I mean, probably 4 or 5 times I watched different employees like 911. Like, are you guys on your way? Like, it's got to be.
They're not going for that. They have to say a man is screaming, and then maybe they'll come.
No, I was screaming. I was saying, have the cops remove me. I dare you. I'm waiting for them. Call the cops. I'm yelling this in the lobby.
There's 50 of you at any given time doing that.
Yeah,
right then.
they got to pick the right
Way
one.
worse. Like people like 302.
Dude, I can't remember what the amount of police there are per population, but it's like ridiculously small here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're lazy too.
So, the guy's like, yeah, so you're going to have to get your stuff and leave. And I'm like, yeah, well, get the cops. I'm not fucking doing it. All right, how about that? So, then, yeah, Metzger sees me kind of entering this thing. And that's when I call an Uber because at this point I got to go. And I'm like, well, I'm not even going to fucking wait, okay? I'm not waiting around anymore. And I have another friend who's hanging out, staying in the hotel. And I was like, well, let's have my friend pick up my stuff, okay? Take it to his room, and then that'll be that, right?
She like broke up with him. You're like, he'll come get my stuff.
Yeah, come get
I'm
my
out
stuff.
of here.
Yeah, that's it. So, I go give my key card to him, and then I leave. I was like, just go get my stuff because these fucking. And I'm still waiting for the cops because in my mind, by the way, what are the cops gonna? They're gonna come and they're gonna side with me. Like in my mind, I was like, yeah, the cops are gonna probably shoot the Hilton manager. So I was like, you're lucky the cops aren't here. Like in my mind, I'm so justified.
You thought the cops were gonna stand their ground?
They were gonna come and fucking start lighting up the entire staff, dude. Battering ram in the door, just start fucking blah blah blah, start shooting all the employees.
They would have definitely arrested you on site.
I would not be doing a show tonight.
I know. They would. If the cops came, they would have arrested you.
Do you think they would have?
Well, they would have tried to get you
What
out of
was
there. But
the-
if you started,
I wouldn't have done it with the cops. I wouldn't.
You respect. So you respect those who walk the thin blue line.
I'm a fucking right-wing conservative Christian, so
So you would have been like, once the cops came, you'd be like, "Thank God
Thank
you guys
God the
are
cops,
here.
yeah.
Please get me out of here."
exactly.
That's awesome.
Deep down, he's a red-blooded, Satan-worshipping, conservative Christian, guys. You heard it here first.
So you just wanted the cops to come, basically.
I wanted the cops to come, and it's funny is because Metzger reminded me of this.
Call them right. Call 911 right now.
I wonder what they would
I need
say.
the cops, right? Just be like, yo, I just want to see you guys. I love you guys.
I wonder what they would say. I
You're
would call them like, hey, I have marijuana. Is that an issue? Come here. Come over here.
Oh God,
They would hang up on you.
this story is terrifying. I mean, like,
I still haven't gotten to the point where you're just noticing this,
yeah.
and you're like,
So I don't know if we're going now or what, and then.
So yeah, I go get my key. Uber comes. I was like, fine, Uber's here. So as I'm leaving, I'm just like, I'm still cursing. I'm like, you're all fucking put. This place sucks. Fuck you. I was like, the reason the cops aren't here is because they don't respect you. I'm making it really stupid for no reason. I was like, yeah, dude, they don't like you. That's why they're not coming. The cops hate the Hilton.
Fucking crazy.
oh my god, dude. And what are you like? Are you cleaning up behind me? Like, sorry guys, we're leaving. Sorry.
No,
So you're just
I don't even.
He's acting like he doesn't know me.
you put the hood up and just walked out.
No, it was actually quick. We got in the car and then.
We got in the car. So at this point,
How's the Uber driver?
Uber was actually pretty cool.
Okay.
So we're driving to you, and then my friend calls me. He's like, "Yeah, they're not letting me get your stuff. They quarter off the entire corner of the hotel. I was like, nobody can go over there." And I was like, "What?" So then I start flipping out. I was like, "What's going on?" So then I have to turn around.
You have calmed down and flipped out on what number of flip out from calm down?
That was it was like a 15-minute drive because we were at Wawa when we found out.
I see what you're saying.
We left. We're like 15 minutes away from the hotel. That's when I call you because I'm like, dude, I don't know if we're gonna be able to come. I gotta go back to the hotel room now because they're not letting my friend get my stuff. So we head back to the hotel. Okay, cops still not there. This has been at least 40 minutes since the cops have been initially called. There's no cops. It's in sight. It's crazy. Okay, so I come back in and Metzger's like, please, dude. Just please don't go and yell. It was like, it's going to end so bad. It's not going to end well. We shouldn't even be going back. He's like, don't go back. He was like, what are you doing? You're going to jail if you go back.
Yeah.
And it was just flashes of the time that I did go to jail for me and my roommate got into an argument. And like I started yelling that I was going to kill him. But I was trying to express to him that I was going to beat him up like really badly.
Yeah.
But I was just screaming, I'm going to kill you over and over again.
Oh God.
And to witnesses that sounds and him and the cops and everyone, they explained to me later. They're like, dude, you can understand how we thought you were going to kill him.
My cousin got banned from Yellowstone for something similar.
Yeah, but it's just like if you're talking shit, you're like,
Here's what's so crazy about this.
I'm going to beat you up real bad.
You have this thing of like,
I'm going to kick your
there's
arse.
a level people are supposed to just understand about you, saying that you're going to kill them literally. And you're upset that someone isn't smiling enough when you like.
You should wear a sign like a deaf person.
You're
like I
the
might
amount that
spaz.
dude, the amount of tolerance that you're requiring.
Like the Joker, he has that little note that says, I have a condition. I
might
give that to
spaz.
everybody.
You should, because you don't have it. Like, you should have the most patience in the world for the way you could flip out on somebody. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
People aren't supposed to be extra cheerful in case you get set off.
Yeah, how nice would you be creeped out if someone was like way too friendly and nice?
No, I would respect. I would like. This is a good business.
So you like that? So I get creeped out of the expect. Like when I expect
I run a merch
cashier
business. So listen to me. If somebody complains, like, and I literally hired a specific person for customer service. And do you know what the rules are? If somebody says, "Fuck you," I hope your mother dies in a fire. I'm coming to fucking murder you and your family right now. I'm going to kill you. This is a real threat.
Yeah.
They're supposed to go, I'm so sorry, sir. How can we rectify this for you? This is our fault.
That pisses me off.
Every
As you're
fucking
saying
time.
that, you realize that that's wrong, right? Like,
It's not wrong. The customer's always right.
Lewis.
So-
that's so crazy. Like,
The customer is always right.
what is this, a religion you're in or something? What are you talking about? Dude, you have a very successful business and a lot of shit. Yeah. What are you doing?
At what point could a customer or could
You have so much to lose. Like, I've lost my shit many times.
I'm creating
I had nothing
moments.
to lose when I did. You have a lot to lose.
I'm creating moments, Metzger.
Well,
I'll tell you right now, none of those people will forget me.
No, they will. There'll be like someone doing that tomorrow here, just being like, "Where the fuck's my fucking soup? Fuck,
dude, the days.
That's like a daily occurrence, dude.
That's like those.
You stupid
They
bitch.
literally
Where's my
forgot.
soup?
They probably talk shit amongst themselves, like, "Man, fuck that guy." And then 15 minutes later,
And by the way, that kind of shit, like, you dude, I'm telling you, you're gonna fuck yourself, dude. Okay? Because
I
that
know
kind
I
of
have to
shit-
fix my
You're
anger.
telling these stories like we're all like, oh, dude, that's hilarious. You verbally abuse all these people and they don't call cops. That's not hilarious. That's a problem. And you, a guy who's good at business, people don't want to get in business. Dude, you could be all kinds of shit. You can't be that. You can't. For what you're trying to do, which, by the way, I'm on your channel because I believe in it. You can't do that.
I believe in you.
But you just can't do that. Okay? It's going to, like, it's so far beyond the enormous leeway that you have. You have so much leeway.
Being a brown.
Dude, you have so much leeway doing in entertainment and all. Now it's a lot less than it used to be with like, now that Weinstein's down.
Well, by the way, that's why I don't have more
Harvey
leeway.
Weinstein never treated somebody this way.
The reason they particularly don't like me in the industry, especially with like, liberal leaning comedians, is because they look at me as like an Uncle Tom. They hate the fact that it's like with like that's why they really hated Milo.
They might be afraid you're going to kill them.
They really hated Milo because he fucking he was a gay. Like they couldn't really call him a Nazi.
Sure.
And they realize how stupid they sound when they do that. So like it angers them even more. So Metzger, you're probably right.
But no. Listen, what you just said, I'm even more right, because people that want to get you, okay, who have any inkling, and the reason they want to get you is if you have any success coming. Okay, if you have any success, there's a whole group of people. They're waiting. Now, look, you have enough Puerto Rican that it hasn't fucked you, but you don't talk Puerto Rican. This is not even, you can't put this behavior on being Puerto Rican. This is something like Florida level upbringing. Yeah. Okay? So if you give enough rope, who's the Proud Boy guys? Puerto Rican. They don't give a shit. That guy's a Nazi.
Yeah.
There's a limit to your Puerto Rican that they're going to give you.
Of course, I know. Well, here's the thing. That would be the case if I, attacked a woman there, or if I fucking
literally did.
No, I snapped at a woman. No, that's some pussy shit.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's a non-partisan issue. Like everyone will be like, yeah, that sucks.
No, you can't. No, that's fine. Hold on, but you can give an attitude to a fucking employee behind a cash register. I'm sorry. Fuck off. I'm not going to sit here. Let's not get this shit twisted. Okay, hold on. Let me say this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You're right, Metzger. You're 100% right as my friend to say, yeah, dude, you shouldn't act this way. You're crazy. You're being fucking nuts. You shouldn't be getting ejected from hotels. But let's look at what is my problem here. I gave attitude to fucking hotel employees. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm the worst fucking person in the world. I do stand by this. They fucking sucked. I don't give a shit. Yes, I'm telling the story in an honest way, and I will admit that I'm wrong in a lot of it.
Sure.
But they all fucking sucked. They did. And I was in a bad mood, and I just couldn't fucking take them sucking anymore. So I told them, and I let it get the better of me, and I'm suffering for it. I'm the one paying for a hotel room. I left. It's my shit.
Okay, hold on. You said it, okay? The issue is the main bottom, forget the hotel and any of that, okay? It's getting into a rage and then feeding it and feeding it and feeding it.
Yeah.
And then looking, and so that's an addiction. That's an addiction. It's like any kind of drug. You're getting some kind of high off of this. That little laugh you're doing, you're getting high from it. No. It's you're getting something out of it, and it's dangerous.
Well, Metzger, you're
it's just
right.
like a drug. You're going to too much of it.
It's not. There's something about. You're right about something, right? Where there is something weirdly. I keep on coming back in this cycle, right? And there's an addiction to
that feeling.
It's not the feeling, because I don't like the feeling. The feeling gives me like mass anxiety. The problem was, and I have this bitterness in me where I feel like nobody's ever given me anything. I've done everything for myself. And then when I don't get something the way that I want it, I feel it like it's a personal affront. Mm-hmm. And it's because I've worked very hard to get where I'm at. And this is me just being very honest, right? I'm not arguing. Yeah. You're right.
No one's telling you a bad person.
What happens with the anger, why I get so justified in the moment where it's bad customer service or whatever it is, it's because I'm going like, people, when I downplay how bad my childhood was. People have no clue. You're telling Barry Crimmins was raped at 4. Is like, dude, I would have taken a raping at 4 over the shit that I dealt with from 0 to fucking 14, right? One raping all fucking day. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Are you kidding me? I'm telling you. So I think maybe I downplay that and the shit that I have to fight. So what happens is I have a little bit of success. I have things that I've worked very hard for. Still to this day, nobody has given me shit. Nobody hands me anything. I've never gone on the road and opened up for people. Nobody did. Nobody gave me stage time. Nothing. Nobody fucking handed me shit ever. So when I'm spending money at a place and I'm and I work so hard every dollar. I mean, I'm so emotionally connected to every dollar. Because like I was so poor. I mean, dude. I remember just being like a kid, being like, "Fuck, dude." I mean, just fantasizing about having money, or just something, just being so fucking poor. It triggers this thing where I snap and I go, "Are you fucking crazy?" Like, it's almost like, I don't say it like, "Do you know who I am?" But I have this attitude like, do you know where I've come from to get here? That this person behind a fucking hotel room desk is going to look down their fucking nose at me? I'm getting angry now as I'm saying it, right?
Yes.
So, but it's not justified, but I'm trying to let you into my head a little bit. It's not as simple as me going like, I really like just being shitty to people. I hate it. No, I don't like that feeling at all.
Listen,
there's no endorphins that are released that I go like, no, it's funny. You guys are making me laugh as I'm telling the story, and I know how ridiculous it is. I'm also willing, and you you said at the top of the show,
dude,
I'm more willing to put myself out there and be honest about it versus other people, because most other people tell the story and they would try to, make themselves look like the fucking hero in it.
Look, that's true. That's very good about you. Okay, I'm just telling you, learn from it. I've
come very far compared to where I used to be.
Here's the feeling, okay? Because I definitely have blown up a bunch of times. Okay, one, you'll have there's a thing of, if you're gonna lose one little thing, you're like, let's blow the whole thing up. Then there's like this fucking fear of having something taken away from you. So that's part of it, okay? And then there's a feeling of this small thing that's been done to me, now you're going to pay for every other fucking thing that's been done to me, right?
Yeah.
Which so on both counts, you can't do that.
No, you're right.
So listen, I'm not telling you not to love. You should feel that's why you're good at the other part, because you're putting yourself into it, okay? But same thing with comedy, dude. It'll help you in comedy too, because you have a lot of good jokes, dude. This thing is going to hold you back doing your jokes. It's going to hold you back on every fucking level, because you're not willing to fully put yourself out there and just take the hit.
Well, I think where you're right is I'm not willing to. It's always a negotiation and everything in life, right? It's always like a back and forth negotiation. Just whatever. If you're walking down the street, and everything in life is sort of like one person's buying, one person's selling.
You're great at that.
So the problem is, I'm not training myself to negotiate really well. So you have to.
You're good at that.
I know, but I'm saying I'm not it can't always necessarily be my way. This is just in terms of if I was building a robot, right? I use this analogy a lot, right? If I was building the Louis J. Gomez robot, right, to be as successful as possible, right? You're building a fucking McCusker robot, Metzger robot, and you're the fucking scientist. You got a team of engineers behind you. You build this thing to be reactive and these algorithms where it learns and it becomes better, and it's to become the absolute most successful being, right? It would never do what I just did in the hotel. Never in a million years. It would never. That robot would never. It would never be programmed to go and do that. So I know I can step outside of myself and give myself the correct advice. The problem is when you're so in it. I mean, Metzger, you're a lunatic. You've been there before.
Right.
Once you see red and you're in it, and it was it was all these little, it's just ping, ping, ping. Everything just kept on happening. It's even funny as we were about to leave. Right after we came back, what happened was, so we turned the car around. I go back into the hotel, and Metzger was like, dude, just be calm. Please, he was like, dude, we shouldn't even go back there. Just go be calm, okay? And I go in, and they're all in a huddle. I could tell they were just like PTSD.
They huddled up against you.
Jesus Christ, dude. This guy was so much.
Yeah.
And I come back in, and I see the look on their face. They're like, fuck, dude, he's back. Why is he back? So, and I say to the guy, I'm like, look, I'm very calm. I was like, I'm not trying to cause a scene right now. You asked me to leave. You told me to get my stuff. I left. I had my friend go get my stuff because I was in a hurry for an appointment. I was like, I'm not trying to make it a thing right now. I was like, I'll be out of your hair. I was like, I need to get my stuff right now. I need my friend to take it.
Yeah.
And then he was like, all right, come on, let's go. And then we went up, three of us. My buddy met me in my room. I left. And then right before we were leaving, there was a car being valet parked right in front of us. We were just about to be on. It was all done. It was all settled. I hit you. I was like, dude, 15 minutes. Be right back.
Sure, yeah.
Right? This car's just taking their fucking time. It won't leave. And it's like, once again, it feels like 10 minutes to me, but it's probably 2 minutes, 3 minutes, And then we're just waiting. And at one point, I just opened the door and put my foot out. And it's like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm going to go say something. He's like, get in the car. I got so mad.
Yeah, I mean, if you go back to all that early childhood stuff, so it seems like perceived disrespect's a huge trigger for you.
Yeah, probably.
If you want to be a comic, because you dude, the shit, you're funny as shit is you can do it. Though your main block, never mind all this shit, it's going to fuck you up in what you want to do. If you want to be a comic, you better drop that fucking pride. Who never, whoever you think you're better at as a stand-up, okay? You know who never says shit like that? Like a tell, like the prime, to me, example of the thing.
Yeah.
Like, Chappelle said on in the DVDs of the show, there's a commentary, but you don't get to have your fucking dignity and be a comic. So in business...
It's weird because it's a different. Because I don't necessarily.
It's not funny for you to kick ass.
No, you're right. I agree with that. But here's the thing: This would never be. First of all, two things. This isn't me kicking ass. This is me being a lunatic and being wrong in the wrong. So that's why it's funny. So when people listen to these stories, and I do put myself out there a lot on these podcasts, and the only one out of all my friends, the only one willing to fucking bring that level of honesty and make myself look like the asshole. It is self-deprecation to a certain degree. I know that I'm not right. I'm not going like, look at me, guys. I'm the fucking person who threatened to kick everyone's ass at the Hilton. Aren't I awesome?
You did say you're right.
No, I didn't. I said I'm 75% wrong. I said I'm 75% wrong.
Well, okay, but
I know that I'm wrong in the way that I reacted. I'm right in having a reaction. It's not the right reaction.
Okay, fair enough. Now, what about...
They were wrong in every scenario. They were actually wrong. None of them were right. The woman wasn't actually helping me. She was just being a weird fucking...
Well, she seemed like she was trying to help you be honest. Like, hey, like, I know they told you one thing. I'm going to give you the truth. It's actually going to be a little longer.
But at the point that I say, it's fine, miss, just put it in. That's enough. It's enough. And you're right. I shouldn't have given her an attitude. But I just...
Okay,
you know,
let's say you're right. Okay, just let's go with that. Like, so fucking what? Who the fuck are you? That's how you should think. Yeah. Who the like in that situation? And here's why: you can always simmer with rage later. Okay, but if you're smart, you get what you want. You understand? Like, you got like Kevin Hart hustle, dude, and you're never gonna see him do that except to his own entourage. Yeah, he films it and puts it out. I don't know why. You know, but he saves it for the plastic cup boys.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't do that to my entourage. Like my boys, it's funny as me and Metzger are sitting here if we're going to do a big fucking thing, but that typically isn't what happens with me and my friends. You know what I'm saying? Like that
you get
was
what you want by being smart. And all the stuff that you did get, you got by being smart.
I got you. You're 100. It was, none of it was screaming at people.
Well,
none of it.
It's a weird
in spite of my anger, I'm able to create some things and people like working with me.
Sure.
But I think that's the thing. Once people are inside of my circle, it's very easy when you're looking from the outside to go, oh, Lewis is just a fucking animal who screams and gets into arguments with cab drivers. Everyone else is embarrassed, so they hide these moments from the public view, right? So the problem, I do a lot of other shit. 99% of my day is working with people and making. I mean,
dude, I don't think people think you're just. I think you.
No,
feel
I know, but
like
people
that.
No, people
I think you
know.
feel you're that.
What?
You the way you're talking about this shit is like you feel that's what you are.
What do you mean?
This animal that yells.
No, that's not true.
The way you talked about it,
no,
is like I am what I am.
That's not true. I don't think so. I think I'm being somewhat.
I don't think you are. I think that you have.
I think I'm being. I don't know. I'm being somewhat reflective right now. I mean, I don't think I'm saying I am what I am.
There's always a deeper level of reflection.
I've said I need to be better. I know that it's not the right way to act. I said if I was to build a robot, I would never have it to act that way. I'm not. There's no part of me that's going, I am what I am. Fuck you, world. Well, I'm just being honest about it. And the problem is, I think people can sort of look at these moments. These are the big funny moments. Like I don't sit here and go like, well, let me explain to you what I did today for the ad sales side. Let me explain to you the 5 fucking meetings I had with, various, companies or partners or whatever it is. That shit's not funny or interesting. And to be honest with you, that's not really what I've built myself to be known as. So if I really break it down in an honest way, it's like, no, I can be like every other asshole, and all the shit that most people would be embarrassed about, I wouldn't put out there, and I would hide it, and I would present this perfect version of myself. But I think the reason my fans like me and appreciate me is because I'm willing to do that, and I'm willing to admit that I fucked up, and I think they see themselves in me a little bit, even if it's not as extreme. I think they go, all right, you know what, dude, fuck it, we all fuck up, we all have these issues, so I just disagree with you on that. And
on what?
Yeah, I'm confused.
What do you disagree about?
I disagree with you that it's sort of this like huge detriment to my career and to who I am.
Being like that?
Yeah, that could.
It is a huge detriment to your career, Lewis. Look, buddy, I've been through. I had all kinds of flip outs. I've been through all kinds of shit. I'm just telling you, if you don't want to, you don't have to listen to me, but something's going to teach you. So you might as well listen to it now. Trust me, something will teach that kind of shit. Yeah, you're and I know exactly what you're talking about because I like to be honest. I like to say, hey, whatever. Okay, you could. I mean, by the way, tell this story again or whatever. Maybe this is the last one that you have ever like that. Okay, like you don't understand. Like putting information out there. It's not just companies trying to take your information. It's everyone. And if some little shit who there's plenty of sees you're getting something big, they're going to go, now's my chance to keep them down, okay? And if you're worried about that, things that you put your heart into being ripped away from you, that's how it's going to go, okay? And that feeling is going to be way more intense than not getting a smile with your shrimp taco. It's going to be a fucking devastating, dude.
Yeah.
And then, if God forbid that kind of stress is on you, and your instinct is to go complete cold fusion, self-fueling fucking rage, like you'll die. It will kill you. So what I'm saying is just have the humility and be like, oh, fuck me, I deserve it. Because just so you know, you deserve 4 more frowns that you didn't do anything about for this incident. Just remember that. That's where the Jesus can help you. Just remember, I've done so many idiotic fucking things. I'm just going to take this one because I fucking deserve it. Everybody does.
Yeah.
You're not worse than everybody.
Look, that's a good way to look at it. I agree with that's a better way. That's a great tool.
I snap so much about
But that's a great tool to like, sort of control it and be like, you know what? Think about each time I was an asshole or got, I didn't get caught doing something fucking stupid or whatever it is, right?
Sure.
Cheating on a chick or whatever. Yeah, I probably did. That's a good, but also, sometimes people got to be told, baby boy.
Yeah, that's a weird.
Sometimes people are fucking assholes and they got to be told. And
you've done more than your Batman amount of work.
You're right.
Fighting injustice.
Fighting poor customers.
Now you can hang up the cowl.
I have. You're right. But I mean, there also is something to like, I'm doing okay for myself, and it's not.
I want you to keep. I want.
But
you
it's
to keep
not
doing
just.
that.
It's not. I said before, in spite of my anger and in spite of my instincts. Some of that drives why I do very well. Some of that,
You're going to get the wrong look. I don't want you. I hope it won't be this bad ever, but you're going to get the Owen Benjamin validation. Like the fact that you attract people with your horseshit is actually good. That there's a lot of people sharing pain with you. So now you're just in a position you got to be responsible. Like your kids should never see you acting like you're very good with your son.
No,
Like,
well, my son, it's a different thing because, like, I mean, even times where I've gotten like angry in front of him, like I feel so guilty and I apologize to him immediately. And it's never anything like crazy.
Sure.
I mean, luckily my kid probably fucking saved my life because I constantly think about that. Like, I don't want to get fucking stabbed like my dad was. It was a fight outside of a strip club. Like my dad was stabbed to death because he just couldn't control his anger and got into a thing. So. It's something that I think about constantly, and it's a constant battle. And I've been to anger management for years now. At this point, I go to therapy. I'm on
what
medication.
do they say?
Yeah,
Like,
what's
how
your-
do they?
yeah.
What do they tell you?
I mean, it's just a lot of like just talking about the issues. The problem is I'm now not seeing my same anger management counselor. I think I should probably go back to the same chick because
Yeah.
I was seeing her weekly. I'm seeing a therapist every 2 weeks now, and my anger specifically, it was all keeping a log every time I got angry and what I got angry about, and it would keep me so accountable that I'd be like, fuck. Like as I started getting angry, I was like, do I need to log this shit? Am I gonna have to go out and have a discussion about this? So it would almost like keep me at bay. And I can do it with my kid. You know what I'm saying? So I know I have the ability to not flip out because if I'm walking down the street with my kid, I don't fucking just go and do that on people. So yeah, dude, you're 100% right about the advice that you're giving me. I do feel like, I feel like you're being maybe a little over paranoid for me because I don't feel like this thing specifically is something that like
This thing specifically isn't. That's why it's important now for you to.
But I'm not.
I think he's talking about like the pattern.
But I'm not
like,
raping women. I'm not hitting
Sure.
chicks. I'm not going out and hurting kids. I'm not.
It doesn't have to be jail. Listen,
but here's what I'm saying. Like
you could get in trouble for shit.
worst case scenario, if somebody videotaped me yelling at a fucking security guard at a hotel, who fucking cares? I just don't know that. I can't connect with like that is this big detriment. That's just not the thing.
Well,
I know it's not right, and having nothing to do with my career, it's not right. Having to do with humanity, like I shouldn't be that way. I'm not looking at it like, I'm going to lose my fucking racist podcast network because fucking I yelled at someone. It just doesn't matter. I built all my own fucking shit for a reason because once again, nobody's giving me anything. The reason Owen flipped out was because Owen had shit. Owen was fucking with Winona Ryder. Owen was a fucking A-lister. He was in Hollywood. And, he started talking about some real shit. And I agree with that. The joke that he told, I completely agree with the whole trans kid joke.
What was the joke?
I don't even remember, but it was like just talking about how, you shouldn't allow kids to take hormones. I think it's an honest conversation. And they fired him from a college. And then he sort of went down this path. And I think that became almost like he saw success in saying fuck you to the system, and then he just kept on going. Mm-hmm. I'm just not that guy. Like it's just a different thing. I have too much going on right now. I'm not a guy who has an agent that could fire. I have an agent, but he's not gonna fucking fire me. I do more for my career than anybody does. Nobody like.
Well, yeah.
I don't have a TV deal. I don't have it's not happening ever. It's not in the works. It's not like I'm writing a script and I'm waiting to sell it. I've given up on all that shit. Mm-hmm. I will be a fucking multimillionaire. I will be very successful. I will be in charge of all of my own shit. And I won't have any bosses. I do not work well with anybody working above me. So you're right. None of this stuff is right. But I just don't think that, I feel like it's not the same thing. Maybe you also said it before. You're like, there's not every comic is the same. I don't know. I think you don't need to
like what is the argument? That's how much are you saying? Like what's the? I don't even know what you're disagreeing about.
He's saying it's potentially you could lead spazzing just at will could potentially lead to an outburst that could be traced back and used negatively against you. That seems to be.
Yeah, maybe.
But we all are in agreement. You can't do this.
You can't do it. I just don't think it's as big of a detriment to my career.
Because it has yet to have been the detriment it could be. But now things are ratcheting it up, and I'm telling you, dude, you're not going to see it until you have something. Imagine, okay, so you're friends with Winona Ryder or whoever, right? And imagine if Owen had built a business that would rival the people that she would get hired by. Well, now it's time to find a way to ruin you, okay? So especially with your top dog fucking feelings you got, that's what you super have to be conscious of, because there's other predators way above you, and they're what were we talking about yesterday at that show where you realized you couldn't beat up some guy who's MMA, and you're like, I think I beat up everybody.
Yeah. Oh, with Bisping when I trained with him. Yeah.
Yeah, like that. There's a part of that that's like good that I don't think you should let go of. That kind of I'm game to whatever. You know what I mean? It's just the arrogant part of it, it's like a thing of I'll have to be shown that I can't beat up this guy who professionally does this. It's that spirit's a good spirit. The thing that's not is thinking that you're at a level already of something. Like people tell you, and they will do. Like the shit that I see you build up, and all, like I'm so impressed by. Literally, you don't ever have to be looking for anyone's validation. Just do your thing. It'll just come to you, dude, naturally, without any of you, like all your hustle and shit, your business side. That's why that shit's so sharp, and you are trying to be genuine all the time. So your performing side, it's affecting that, dude. It's affecting that, and it's holding you back comedically because you have like your shit that's so good is so good, and then you have shit where I can tell it's like trying to be the bouncer a little bit, like just be like, if I get. You're already honest, like I don't give a shit if I'm wrong and telling a story. So get your ass kicked or have somebody be rude to you.
Yeah.
Just allow it.
But I agree with you that I think that maybe we're just, once again, maybe we're just sort of like, I don't know if we're necessarily talking about the same thing, because comedically, yeah, no, I completely agree. I come from the same exact
one thing to me.
But but it's not one thing.
Well, it's also
being a comedian. It's sometimes not the funniest thing to go into an ad sales meeting and to talk about. No, I mean, there's just not. It's not the same thing. And the reality is, if I was just a comedian, I would be a fucking broke asshole with roommates right now. I had to go and create other opportunities for myself in order to have any sort of real success, so I can go and play at night and do jokes and tell jokes. And now I've crossed the threshold where now I'm actually making money doing stand-up on the road. But I had to go and sort of create a whole other path for myself that didn't exist.
Well, think about a dude. So take yourself out of it and think about a dude who's filling bowls of soup for fucking like $9 an hour. You know what I mean? Or a lady who's just sitting at a counter. It's like the last thing she needs is someone like fucking bugging on her. And she probably doesn't give a fuck about her job because like
Alu Bell?
So like it barely pays any money. The person's working for like barely able to afford an apartment. Some dude's
I'm
like,
not
where the
with you
fuck
guys
is my soup?
that I shouldn't act this way.
That lady
I'm
gives
100%,
a fuck less than
you guys are 100%
His
right.
thing is different. It's a thing about you got a resentment of certain. It wouldn't
I do. I know it's a psychological problem. I'm being very I'm not even arguing that I should act that way. I'm just letting you know what's going on in my head and why I start to justify it. What's happening? Everything's pinging off at the exact moment, and then I sit back and I reflect and I go, "Oh shit, no, I shouldn't be that way."
Yeah. So what's the plan to not do that again?
I got to go back to anger management.
Yeah.
That's like, today made me go like, I need to go back to anger management because everything was so avoidable where it was like, even like, and I could just be right. I could have gotten a free night at the Hilton pretty easily had I just written an email and been like, hey, just so you know, it was weird because everyone had an attitude this day and I had this person come up to me and this person, you know, and if I would have handled it like a fucking respectable white person, I could have gotten, you know, I would have just been in the right the whole time. It's almost like, I say this to chicks that I argue
like an
with.
Albanian, it would be fine.
I say this to girlfriends all the time, like we're like, because I just say I'm sorry. Like it's such a great way to diffuse something. Like I'm sorry, babe, it's totally my fault, even if you don't believe it.
Yeah, apologies, they work.
They keep on going, and you're like, well, now you're just wrong because you just keep it going. I've already apologized. I'm out of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like sort of like how further they take it. It's like, yeah, I got to go to anger management. I'm not arguing that I should act that way. I'm just saying the thing that you sort of connected this thing. You touched on it before, Metzger, with just sort of like I came from the same like lineage as you in terms of all the comics that I respected and looked up to. You were part of it, so it was like you and Big J and Nate and Vecchio and all. I was sort of looking up to you guys, and then from there, you guys were like looking up to guys like Attell and Patrice, and it was like the direct correlation. So I know the whole self-deprecating, like that's what's funny. There's nothing funny about the hero story. I know that. Okay, I would never go on stage and be like, dude, I don't have a story about the fight that I won.
Well,
there's nothing funny about that.
I mean the feeling of like, I'm not gonna take this shit. Like that feeling, just take this shit. And it's just principle for everything. Like a joke.
I think comedy is extremely diverse, right? So I think that you could have different personality types, and I'm just not.
You don't have to change personality type at all. It's literally dude. It's almost like if you were into fucking martial arts or something. It's just a bend like the reed principle. Even on stage, like if somebody heckles you, what you got to always just completely have love for the crowd, like it's your fucking kid almost. Okay, even when they suck. So that's why you can't just you can't respond with abuse. You got to like bend with it. I've had a million fucking all kinds of fucking shit on stage of like, so I already know how this shit works. As long as you are in the moment and you're not fucking that thing of like, taking the mask off and you're showing your pulsating fucking rage. Yeah. You don't want to do that. Like,
well, it's also forget comedy.
A guy who wins an MMA, Cowboy Serrano, we talked to. You and me interviewed him.
Yeah.
And he's never angry fighting, ever. Never angry in a fight. Because I was very curious about that. Because like the fight, only kind of like fights I've been in were pure adrenaline, something
rage,
snapping.
Yeah.
I have no skill, because physically I would never be able to fight. Like, so that's put that into that. That like think about it like that, dude. Because that guy is a fucking. I mean, whatever it is you're threatening to do, he can do. And that guy.
Well, by the way, I didn't threaten a single person today. I didn't threaten to kick somebody's ass.
I mean, except for out loud.
No, I did not. I did not threaten to kick anybody's ass. I just called them a fucking asshole. All I was doing was
that's progress.
Screaming that they're fucking assholes. I wasn't threatening to kick anybody's ass. If I threatened to kick somebody's ass, I would get arrested.
Well, I'm glad.
By the way, the reason I was so confident that the cops, I was like, have the cops come.
All right, that's progress. I'm glad to hear.
It is progress. They didn't. There was no physical thing where I felt like I needed to threaten to fight this guy.
Sure.
It was me saying you're a fucking asshole. And as simple as that. And at the point that they kicked me out of the hotel, I was like, well, fuck all of you. You're all fucking assholes. Suck my fucking dick.
See, with that, all that anger kind of thing, it's just like dirty burning fuel, basically. Yeah. And if you were using your journal, all the things you're going to say that are funny, and it doesn't have to be related to the situation. Do you know what I mean? That you have a joke that I like about babies having a great body.
It's not a joke. It's life.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm summarizing, but
that's the joke that takes me down.
If you're the thing of like holding on to your anger until it can turn clever, that's really what you got to do. And so you'll get jokes like that aren't even related to the situation that happened because you just fucking process it and then make it into your art.
Can I just play devil's advocate? You look at things very much.
About to kill the angel, dude.
From I am the devil.
Well, look at things from what?
You look at things purely from a comedian standpoint. So because you are very much.
Dude, I've had a million
blow-ups,
all kinds of places.
But I'm saying, everything you're saying right now is I'm not, and you may be right in the sense that like internalizing that I'd probably come up with more funny because of it. However,
what am I wrong about?
I don't look at everything from the eyes of how am I going to become a better stand-up comedian. Sometimes I just fucking, we all want to become a better stand-up comedian, but I mean, I'm becoming a better stand-up comedian.
You have your modes, right? There's comedian mode, there's business mode. Your business mode, you're dead on. For some reason, when you get in comedian mode, a whole bunch of horse shit comes out, okay? And they clash sometimes.
What do you mean?
Because you're doing a show, so you're here in comedian business.
Okay.
In your comedian personality, that's when this horse shit comes out. Your business shit is dead on.
Explain that. I don't know what you mean by that, though.
The thing of losing your temper somewhere, doing it, whatever. Like, for some reason, this is fused to your like artist part of your life. Okay.
So you were saying I lean into it with like who I am on stage and as a podcaster. Like I'm not.
I don't think you do an act. I'm saying when you're Lewis, the business like we're talking.
I'm genuinely not understanding what you mean by it.
In business, you would never be doing that. You get into your fucking mode of business and you.
Yeah, I would. I would if I could be triggered in a moment of like rage. Like I mean it's not crazy when I'm triggered and I have rage. There's no controlling it sometimes. I mean, it's not like a conscious thing where I'm going like, oh yeah, it's something that like,
sure,
it sneaks
I fully
up
get
and
that.
I'm fucking like I got into that thing with that guy Jake Flores at the comedy club. Mm-hmm. I know that I shouldn't go up and start getting in a guy's fucking face and trying to get him to fight me. I know that I shouldn't do that. Sure. I wouldn't give myself or give my kid that advice. But in the moment, I feel justified and I'm angry and the rage sets in and I'm fucking like, I see red and I can't control it. And it's something that I need to fix. So I'm not really like, Yeah, I'm not really I don't even know if I'm not really arguing with you. I just feel like I'm not. I do have a lot of other layers beyond being just a comedian. So and a lot of that passion and rage and feeling like I'm the shit and feeling like I'm on top. I know that's not the comedian thing to say, but if I'm trying to fucking be really successful and be a multimillionaire and really fucking. You have
Those are two different things. They're two different. Look,
well, for me, I measure success monetarily. That's a very big part of success for me. In my head, like money is a very big part of it.
Yeah.
So
it is.
So
no, you're not wrong.
So that's a fact. You know, fans and money are the only two quantifiers
you also
that I have.
want the comedy, but you also want the comedy respect.
Of
I know
course.
that you do. Okay. So
well, I'm never going to get the comedy respect. The
I don't think you
traditional
should
way.
give up on.
No, I haven't. Dude, let me tell you something. I am at such a comfortable place where I am with my comedy right now. I feel really good about it. I feel great about my special. I feel great about all the new stuff that I'm writing. Like, yeah, I think I still have some horseshit in my act that's residual left over. I think we all do. If we're being completely honest.
You should always feel like it's all horseshit.
I know, well, that's the Attell thing. Attell will tell you he's the worst comic in the world. It's psychotic. However, I don't know, dude, I'm a different person, so I need to feel like I'm good. I need to, like, if I don't have that validation, right, I will not create. I will just stop, right? So it was almost like I had to step back from stand-up and create some successes in my life.
That makes sense.
In order to come back. And I never stopped doing stand-up. I just wasn't as hyper-focused when we were really starting Gas Digital on the podcast network. And now that we've sort of crossed a certain threshold, now I'm uber-focused on stand-up. But I sort of needed that validity first. So, and you got that validity very young. So everyone's been saying you're a fucking genius.
No, I did not.
Yes, nigga, shut up. I was saying Kurt Metzger's a genius since I've known him in comedy, since he was like a 3-year comic. Everyone, Metzger, everyone knew you were brilliant. Forget this. I'm telling you, you don't have the perspective that I have on it. Everyone knew when you were very young that you were brilliant. You may not have killed the way that Jay killed back then, because Jay was a killer, but nobody considered Jay a better comic than you. Everyone just knew that Jay was a fucking killer.
Okay.
So, but that validation you got really young. So it's very easy for you to go like, dude, you got to always think you suck. You got to always think. No, it's like, no, dude. For me, if I would have always thought I sucked, and I did that for fucking years, I would come in and be like, yeah, dude, I'm just, Big Jay's lackey. I'm not very good. I'm really trying to learn. And then eventually I was like, oh shit, people started treating you that way. And then I said, fuck all that noise, and I stopped connecting myself.
Go back. Wait. Hold on. Sorry. Say that again about Jim.
Oh, just having the idea of like, I suck. Me and Dave would always like, yeah, we're not very good. Like, these guys are great. We're just students of the game. We're fucking. And then eventually it was just, we were literally just Big Jay's lackeys. We were guys that would hang out Big Jay. And it wasn't until I literally consciously removed myself and detached myself from that scenario.
Yeah, well, that's good. You do have to do that. Yeah.
And went and created some things for myself. I was able to create the confidence. The reason I'm a good comic now is because I'm confident. Whereas back then, like, I remember, dude, one day, what happened with me in comedy, it really fucked me up for years. Like, I went on the road Big J when I was really young in comedy, like maybe a year in, right? And Big J just had an honest moment. He shouldn't have done this. It was fucked up for him to do, actually. But I was like, dude, you go over my jokes.
You lower your voice?
He goes, he told me there was no tacos left. No, I asked him to go over my jokes with me. And I'm a shitty young comic, right? I'm just not good at comedy. So, he's like, all right, tell me one of your jokes. He told him the first joke. He's like, yeah, it's terrible. Remove it from your act. And I was like, it's my opener. He's like, tell me another one. Tell me another one. Yeah, it's awful. Take it out of your act right now. That's my closer, Jay. And he just went over a few more. He's like, yeah, dude, don't worry. You're funny. You'll figure it out eventually. Now, in his mind, this wasn't even an event.
He shouldn't have done that?
No, and I'll tell you why. Because we all suck at a year end. He shouldn't have broken down my joke. What he should have done was he should have said, I'm not going to go over your jokes. I'm not going to go over your act right now. I was like, they probably all suck. They were probably all horseshit, but you're funny. And you'll figure it out eventually because that's part of the process. He destroyed my confidence.
Wait, how long have you been doing it?
Maybe a year. Like, I'm talking about, like, destroyed my confidence to the point where, like, I was devastated. This is the guy that I looked up to most.
You don't think that happened to both me and Jay many times?
Maybe.
It happened a lot.
I don't know, dude.
Like, that's crazy. Dude, Keith Robinson, I remember fucking cut my ass down. Yeah. And he was dead right. This is what I'm talking about.
And you wish to stroke upon him right in that moment. And years later.
No, I go, I got to get better. It's like getting beat up by that guy you fucking thought you could beat up and you trained and you're like, I can't beat a professional.
I just don't know that.
It's not you being bad or good. Jay wasn't telling you you're not funny. This is hilarious because when I was with Delfino, my ex is a ukulele comic now. We'd be in bed. She's like, "Ooh, time to listen to my joke." I love going over people's jokes. The only reason not to do it is because they're going to get upset if you. Dude, I professionally write, and in a professional place, you're like bullshit. You don't have time for people's fucking emotions.
Of course.
So this is not the difference of bad and good.
I don't.
It's not
I
bad
don't
and good.
agree.
It's Louis, I know what I'm talking.
Yeah, it's
about.
just you can get better.
It's not bad or good, and that's where you're wrong to relate this to. Louis is bad or Louis. Your act and you are not the same. Your act could stink in large chunks, okay, and often it does. That doesn't mean you're bad. You're funny. If you made even one funny thing, you're funny.
Yeah.
Of course, your act stink. Wait, what are you crazy?
I know, but this is what I'm saying. For a year comic, though, I don't agree that you should go to a year comic and tell them to take jokes out of their act. That you shouldn't do that. They should figure out that joke stinks eventually and drop it. I just feel like, in my opinion,
that's a shortcut. And
it's not a shortcut. It's not a shortcut.
It can be if you allow. See, this is what I'm talking about. If you'll just allow it, Louis. I have all kinds of emotional problems like you do. Just one thing with comedy. You need to be fucking humiliated, okay? And you're terrified of it.
Metzger,
you're terrified of being humiliated.
I've been doing comedy for 14 years. It's pretty humiliating. Whatever you're talking about, it's sort of crazy.
You gotta let him go up to the balls, buddy.
Up to the balls inside
everything
you're talking about. I've done. I've been humiliated. I've been kicked into the fucking dirt. I've had no opportunities afforded to me ever. Everything you're talking. I'm not like a guy who has shit. I don't know what you're in your mind.
You're not listening. Listen. Okay.
What I'm saying is, it's very specifically. Forget me. Forget Jay. Forget everything else. I don't think an older comic should go to a comic that was doing comedy for a year, whether they look up to him or not, and break down their jokes and say you should get rid of those jokes out of your act right now.
Am I wrong? I'm sorry.
Let me finish the point. Let me finish the point. I did, and I don't think you should have. I've had comics do this to me at this point. Young comics come up to you, they say, "Hey, dude, you just," and I say, "No." Number one, I say, "I'm not the go ask a better comic." Okay, I'm not the guy to ask. But number two, they're going to figure out the jokes. They're going to go through the process of making those jokes better. They're going to stink at a year in. There's no fucking comic that's good at a year in. It's impossible to write good jokes at a year in.
Sure.
Or to perform them, I should say. Right? Well, it's or nearly impossible.
You can have decent. I mean, I think it's good. It's good for someone to say,
if
like,
you look at anybody, honestly, less than 5 years, it's very rare you're going to look at somebody who's doing comedy for less than 5 years and not just go like, if you're a good comic, you're going to go, oh yeah, they're so green that I can't even get past the fact that
what was the jokes, by the way?
Yeah.
Oh, they were horrible.
Horrible. I don't know.
Horrible jokes.
So just easily looking back now, you can see. Look, if you drop the chip
I'm just saying that I went for years. It broke me to the point where I was embarrassed to get on stage. It was the guy that maybe you're not connected to the idea enough. It was the guy that I looked up to the most. Mm-hmm. I almost cried that night, dude. It devastated me.
Do you know what Attell said to me when I met him?
Let me finish. It's not about you. Let me finish. Fucking asshole. I don't give a shit what Attell said to you. All right, I'm saying the guy that I looked up to most broke my heart that night, and it really did affect me in a very negative way. And I stopped being able to do good on stage. I was killing it a year, and by the way, I was doing very well on stage. I would always do well, and then for like 4 or 5 years, it like shut me down to where I was not doing very well on stage, and it was because I was so self-conscious. Jay would literally stand in the back of the room, and I know it was funny to him, but he didn't remember that he even had this high conversation with me. But he'd be doing a joke, and he'd shake his head. He's being funny to fuck with me, and I know that it's very funny. I get it. But in my head, I'm going like he's disgusted. But in my head, I'm being brought back to the hotel room about how he really thinks this. He's not fucking with me. And it just fucked me up. So what I'm saying is, and it's a stupid point to argue. I guess there's no really wrong or right answer here.
What do you think they did to him? What do you think Patrice and him did to Jay? By the way, Jay...
I don't know if that's right either. Patrice is an asshole. Patrice is a genius, but I don't know if he's necessarily the nicest person in the world to be figuring out how to...
That's not going to make you... Dude, your chances of being funny are specifically because of shit like that.
Yeah.
I mean, like...
I've eaten enough shit. I'm saying, Jay, what do you... McCusker, we're going back and forth.
Yeah.
There's a young buck comes up to you and is like, hey, dude, would you tell him all of his jokes sucked, especially with somebody that you really liked and he really liked you?
Here's the thing: I could be super nice to him, and if he keeps doing them for 2 years, it's not going to help him. It'll help me because I can be like, well, I was nice to that guy.
Look, if somebody,
but I wouldn't lie. I would say. This is what I would say. I would say, don't go over your jokes because they're all going to suck. This is what I say. I say this now. I remember this, and this is what I do because I have people ask me all the time. Mm-hmm. I say, don't show me. At a year, more than likely, your jokes aren't going to be very good, and in 5 years, you won't even be doing these jokes.
Yeah.
He'll go to open mics and have those conversations with other kids about how to make them better. It's not going to be from some older comic breaking down why his jokes suck. It wasn't a writing workshop. It wasn't like me and you were working on a fucking bit and going back and forth. He was literally just being sort of a fucking bully to a guy who looked up to him a lot. I'm telling you right now, it wasn't the right way.
It sounds brotherly.
I got better. No. At the end of the day, I look back at it in sort of a positive way because I stopped doing horseshit, and I probably would have kept going down the path of doing horseshit for way longer than I needed to do. Exactly. So it was a good thing. But I'm saying he could have also just said that without actually fucking breaking down every joke and fucking just making me super self-conscious about everything that I was doing. It just wasn't, he didn't handle it the right way, especially if it's somebody that's a friend. That's just the way that I feel. Dude,
look, as you're telling the story, you're saying it's a good. You understand it was like a good thing, dude. That you know what? Like the pain of just watching it. Like I always got to record myself, and I always don't want to look at it because it's fucking painful, dude. There's nothing like Jay could say to me or anyone could say to me that would be as painful as what I would think looking at my own shit.
Right.
The reason I'm saying think you suck all the time is to keep your fucking eye critical. You know when these people get in comedy debates about like Jim Norton, what's her name? Fucking Lindy West.
Yeah.
He's like, you can't have it both ways. You can't say comedy is this important, transformative thing and say, hey, I'm just a comic. Well, she's missing the point, okay? She can, the non-comic can say it's this big, important thing. Me, the guy making it, I never can say that. Or it's broken. It's broken. All I'm doing, I'm a fucking dipshit I'm a birthday clown. Shut the fuck up. That's, if you want to be able to do it, to the way that you aspire, that's how you got to feel about that, okay? Now, the funny thing is, in the business end of it, it's exactly opposite. That's how Kev took off so fast. Like, he had this fucking charisma and, like, it's not humility, but he just was like, you couldn't get him. You couldn't hurt his feelings.
I agree with you. It's so funny because I'm fighting an internal thing in my head because I agree. That was like sort of my foundation, the way that I looked at it. Like, yes. However, I just feel like, I don't know, I think Andrew Schultz is a really good comic. I think he's a fucking hustler. He's a killer. He kills on stage. I think he's got good jokes. He just doesn't have the attitude like he sucks. And I think that there are...
Do you think we look up to Andrew Schultz?
No, but I think a lot of people do, and I think he's really successful. He's a multimillionaire. I think that we can all take a little bit from what Andrew Schultz does and say, hey, you know what? Hold on. There's something there. Metzger, you're a genius.
I could break his heart tomorrow.
You're a genius, Metzger.
I'm still thinking
I love Andrew Schultz, by the way. He's a great dude.
But Metzger, you're a genius, but I'm saying, like, maybe... Just for a second, step back and realize maybe you don't have all the answers either because you've had some issues in the past too. You are
the answers to these issues.
In my opinion, I've said this.
All the issues, the ones we're talking about.
I got shit for saying this. I put Metzger in my top 5 favorite comedians of all time. Sure. Right? People were like, "Dude,
who gave you shit?"
I didn't put Chappelle on the list. I fucked up. I fucked up because I didn't put Chappelle on the list, and you got bumped to 6 after I threw Chappelle in there. I forgot about him. It's for nothing. I was just talking about it or whatever, right? And I was just very complimentary of your comedy. I think of you as a genius, okay? I really do, and I've said it for a long time. Even when we were arguing, like in that big argument,
Oh, you guys beefed on YouTube?
Oh, no, we had a fucking huge, almost fucking fight.
Beefing on YouTube?
So, but I'm saying, like, you should be a multimillionaire. You should be one of the most successful people I know. So, and you're not. And you are more talented than every comic that I know, for the most part. You know, for most of them, at least debatably in the top tier. Right. So maybe you should say, and then you should look at me and go like, all right, well, Lewis is not as talented as a comic, and Lewis is doing pretty well, and his career's going pretty good.
We just said that for an hour.
So I'm saying maybe you shouldn't just completely dismiss everything I'm saying and saying the truth probably lies somewhere in the middle of all of this.
Lewis, you're confusing dismissing the things that are wrong you're saying with dismissing you in any way, which I'm not. This is because I believe in you, that I want you to exercise this cancer that you have. You got a lot. I mean, dude, you have so much to lose now because you made such a great thing. I was so impressed with it. Especially progress as a comic from when I saw you to now. You probably should thank Big J because it definitely helped. That feeling you should take, and you should take it for someone who you look up to.
Yeah,
that's the best thing. That's your fucking medicine. And honestly, just take it. You can't be a Toys R Us kid about it. You take your fucking medicine because it has helped you. Yeah. All these things that you're getting mad about have helped you. Just let them. It's like just getting out of your own way. It's such a simple. Good at sales, dude. Get out of the way of the sale.
Yeah.
You know how do you get the like? How do you crush pussy like this? Amazing because you got just take whatever that charisma.
When's your birthday?
April 1st. I'm it's a fire sign.
You're fiery. I can
Aries,
tell.
baby.
But I don't even know what we're disagreeing about. Like
I don't. All it is that like.
I hope it's not that I'm still going to flip out.
I feel like we're sort of setting it up like an argument when we're all just sort of having a discussion about, a topic.
You are argumentative.
Well, look,
the question, you guys are trying to fight me right now.
No, dude.
And I'm just trying to be a cool fucking
Look at an anger hallucination. This whole situation at the hotel, you could have just had a fantastic day. You were the genesis of a total tailspin.
Sega?
It was. You could have been like, all right, like what was at stake in terms of waiting?
Am I in Sonic Part 3 right now?
What's happening right now?
What was at stake of that whole situation? Early in this morning, you woke up, you were grumpy, you were like, I don't want to wait that long for soup. Therefore,
I was running late. But it's actually, I've said this a million times. One of my triggers, like, is if I'm running late, I get this anxiety, and then. That's why I get into so many arguments with cab drivers, because if I'm taking a cab, it's usually because I'm running late, and it's just they're there. They're the person fucking.
Dude, I've been in a million things because of timeline.
That's it.
Stressed.
Timeline.
Do you know what? That's where you got to commit to the bit of being fully black and just not give a shit about the time thing. If you're gonna commit, just commit. You know, like a fucking real black man. Commit to that's what I'm a. Dude, Patrice, it made me laugh because I opened for him Mohegan years ago, and so he picks me up and we're like late to the show, so I'm all nervous. Featuring like, who gives a shit how I feel about the. He's that goddamn headline. It doesn't matter if we're late, but I'm like, ooh, wait, because I'll get booked again, boo.
Yeah.
And he's fucking with me so much. He stops to get his car fucking Simonized or something. I'm like, do we have time? And he's like, yeah. He's not saying, don't worry about it. He just wants me to be real nervous. So his son, he goes, you think that finished? Because you want to do it again.
Shit.
Then we're driving, and I'm like, he goes, oh, yeah, big and tall. You want to go look at fat guy suits? Then we got there like somehow just in time, and I had to just go right on as we walk in.
Oh.
Yeah.
I fucking killed. Did great. Then I didn't do as good the next day because I was not in the I was so nervous.
That anxiety wasn't. Yeah.
The whole fucking.
But everyone. So take that thought, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's a little bit different, though, right? So the one guy, Matt might. Matt might be the type of guy that if he's running late like that. Mm-hmm. He might just completely get in his head and bomb because he's like he didn't have time to prepare. Nate Bargatze needs to be there 20 minutes early and look over his cue cards and go over his notes, and like it's a process for everybody. So yes, there's truth to that's your truth. You know what I'm saying? But for me, like it's all about like kind of what inspires you and what it's all internal, dude.
Yeah.
There are like I can't understand how somebody who's the guy who's like really really like notoriously rich, who's a comic who's pretty successful, like from a really rich family. What's his name?
Oh no,
can't think. I don't know.
He's on the that cartoon on Netflix. The
Nick Kroll?
Nick Kroll.
Okay.
Isn't he like notoriously like from like a really, really, really wealthy
his
family?
dad is some kind of Hollywood fixer.
Like, that's a story. So I can't imagine even going down the path of doing comedy and finding the inspiration to like talk about things because you're just like you don't really have that same type. Like I couldn't even.
Wait, what?
I couldn't imagine why you would go down the path of being a comic and where you would find the funny from if you were born with that much privilege. You know what I'm saying? Like I just couldn't.
Because it's not about.
But I'm saying
the wrong things with it.
No, but listen, I'm agree. But I just can't do that. Like I can't wrap my mind around. I also can't write jokes about anything but myself because I'm a narcissist. Sure. Some people can write, an hour. Like Attell just writes all these observational things that are hilarious. Like I can't find myself caring about something that's not very personally.
I don't think you are a narcissist because when you're a kid, you're good. I've seen like narcissist parents do. It's a little.
Oh yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I'm just using the word wrong. I have narcissistic traits.
You have like I don't know what the psychological, but you have a chip on your shoulder. And look, you're talking about whoever's a genius to you and all like that's all fine too. But what you should understand is being called a genius and being called Louis J. Gomez is the same thing. It means nothing. The shit means nothing. There's nothing you could tell me that's gonna set. Even if you're like, dude, you're the best. If I don't feel it affects nothing. It's always a thing with yourself. So you can't even with a business. That's good to have that mentality. Kind of that's how capitalism works, I guess.
But I mean, you're a business. Kurt Metzger is a business. If you were to step aside, you have a manager to manage your business.
Why if I was a better businessman, I would have money.
Yeah, I think Metzger. I think we can both take a little bit of advice from each other here. I think honestly, me and you, if you had my business savvy and I had your community,
flip out over tutor tacos.
Yeah, dude.
Wait, what is the counter?
Maybe you should stop taking it on the fucking chin so much and flip out every once in a while. You can have what you want.
I fucked up a million times. That's why I'm telling you I'm not better than you. I just understand it, what it is, and I'm just older. It's not any other fucking. There's nothing. Look, take it away from me, even whatever your personal feelings, all that. Just comedy in general, just how you approach it. I used to say this to fucking Karen all the time because she's like, but I love it. I'm like, you don't love comedy, okay? Comedy is a dumb slut that fucks every idiot but you, okay?
Metzger's the Eminem of fucking comedy. That song 25 to Life.
Listen. Comedy, much like your other things that you do in life, comedy is a dirty urge that you have to do. So it's not love or any of that. It's a thing you gotta do. So don't treat it like you're in love with it. You will not get any respect. Do you understand? You treat it how you would any other fucking relationship on tour. Just like
you fuck it.
Damn, so before every show, you're just like, you feel like you're about to get a hooker?
No, I'll never tell.
Sure.
You got it. This is just for you. It's an internal thing. It's almost like when people go, how come Muslims got to pray 3 times a day or whatever religion? Why you got to pray? God needs you to say. he's great. That like, no, it's not. It's not for that. It's for you because you're a piece of shit, and it's a thing to keep yourself in line. I understand that aspect. You understand.
Yeah.
So this is all for you to control yourself. It's not for any other, because people are always going to be rude. All that shit. You're always going to get, when you're at your funniest, when you did better than you did the last time, and somebody's going to tell you suck. Like, that's why you got to divorce. Just complete honesty with yourself at all times. The thing with Jay, like, yeah, of course that shit hurts, dude. I've had it happen to me many times. Thank God. Just starting out in Philly at the goddamn Laugh House. Fucking Jay thought I was great. By the way, I sucked. I was terrible at it. Luckily, that these black people were mean to me to fucking make me not be a fucking queef.
Yeah, but you'll get that enough. That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe I'm being too specific about it.
Dessert.
You're going to get that so much. I didn't need the guy who I looked up to most. He just shouldn't.
Why did you ask?
He shouldn't have been that specific because I didn't know better. Had I known, I would have went back to Young List and like, yeah, dude, you know what? I would give myself the advice. Like, dude,
stake?
Your jokes are gonna stink. It just didn't need to be that specific. I'm not wrong about this. I will fight this to the fucking death. He didn't need to be that specific because it fucked with me. It fucked with me in a bad way where I don't think that I needed to suck. I talked to Nate about this, and I came to this conclusion after talking to Nate about it, and I think I'm right about this. I was going to figure out how to make those jokes better or whatever it was. All it did was it made me start bombing and not being very good and not having any confidence versus...
That's why you're better now. You have to bomb.
Of course, but I was going to bomb. I was going to eat all the shit in the world. I was going to just...
Dude, when I started, I remember...
I was going to have somebody else tell me my jokes sucked eventually. It just didn't need to be from the guy that I looked up to most on the first night of a weekend that I'm excited to go do with him. Dude, it was fucking crazy. It's not the way you should treat your friends.
You're like, this is no way to treat your son. I mean your friends. This is becoming apparent. What's happening?
Think you're going to get a smoking charge?
No. Can they? Oh, from the hotel? No, he assured me. Well, because I was going to make them sign a thing. After they brought me to the room, I was like, I need something signed right now saying that I'm not going to get a smoking charge. And then he was like, sir, we just want you to go.
I want to convert City Mac to Country Mac. I remember Country Mac was like smoother. You're being City Mac right now.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember when I started, I remember it so vividly too. I'm miserable because I went in pretty confident just because, it would be the first time they go on. I guess it goes well a lot of times. And then I bombed and I was like, do I even understand? I was like, I don't even understand. It's like, I always thought I was funny. And now I'm like, why did I ever think I was funny? Like the amount of I'd just be sad and I'd be overthinking every little thing that I would do or say. And the thing that gets out of it is just fucking like, oh, that's right, I'm not shit, so it's fine. Who cares? Like, you don't worry about knocking me down a peg. I came in lower. You understand? It's just a guy who's just into MMA should understand this principle.
Metzger, it's weird because I think that thing is, yes, it makes you as funny as you are. However,
you can do that,
being funny is honestly a smaller part of this business than it should be. Everything, right? But it's really not, right? Being funny, it means something. If you're funny and you have a little bit of decent work ethic, you can make a career doing comedy. I think it's a pretty fair business, right?
You could be really good at it, though, dude. Your shit that's good is
I know. What I'm saying,
it's almost like being pulled down by this little nonsense.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying for you specifically, though, you are, forget you don't need to be called a genius or whatever, but I think that you should step outside of yourself though and not have that attitude about yourself, because I think that
not in business.
You would, but it is a business, Metzger.
Yes. I know
it's more of a business than it is an art. What are we talking about?
I have no idea. I'm completely lost. The
comedy.
It sounds like you're trying to turn this whole thing around with me.
Yeah,
which you can. But
Metzger, here's your problem.
But look,
be yourself, dude.
I'm not saying this to be
yourself,
to be critical at all, dude. It's completely like, if you weren't worth it, nobody would tell you. Like, if you weren't worth it, Jay wouldn't tell you your jokes suck.
No, I know.
The reason you don't tell a new comic if they ask you is because they're not worth it. In fact, that's the thing I would do now, because I'm like, I don't know this guy if he's fucking worth it. If I have any genuine feeling for somebody and they ask me, I'll fucking tell them. All the comics I ever respected, you remember Vic Henley? I used to get fucked up with him at the comic strip, but I remember we did some cruise, and I was asking him, like, oh, was that good? He was like, you don't want me to judge a set. and then I was like, oh, and then like 2 years later, he came up to me to tell me, hey, that was really funny. People come up to you. Don't worry about it. And if they never do, then fucking don't worry about it either. But they will if you just are never. Dude, I mean, like, I don't know how you do it with chicks so well, but it's the same energy of, like, the shit comes to you. The shit will come to you.
I mean, to be honest with you, my philosophy.
Your advantage, if you could just like drop that nonsense thing, your advantage over me is you are a fucking businessman. So you could be both things. You could be an artist. It's very hard to be both things. It's very hard.
Yeah, I mean,
it's very hard to be as funny as you are.
Yeah.
and do that's very rare. People
I know.
can do that.
I'm doing it. I'm doing extremely well. What are we talking about here?
Sort of pyramid scheme too.
We're co-headlining this weekend. What are we talking about right now? I'm fucking. Listen to me.
Well, we're talking about you spazzing in the hotel.
I shouldn't spaz. I shouldn't spaz. But I don't.
He was saying that could be bad for you long term.
I think my personality traits and all of.
But I'm totally fucking with you. I'm totally fucking with you. That like something like that. That's like a good example. Because we just did the San Diego gig, which is fucking funny shit.
Yeah.
But I featured for that. It was not part of the tour. And my manager's like, I'm like, yeah, I'll feature for anybody, dude. Mm-hmm. Fucking in San Diego, the easiest job.
Featuring is the best.
Featuring rules.
There's no like, don't worry. It's like worrying about a black belt or something. Don't worry about that kind of shit. Like, don't worry about am I being viewed as this or that. No,
I'm not. But we're having a conversation specifically about all the problems with my career and what I'm doing wrong and about how it's going to destroy my career.
One thing,
I need to just stop for a second and go, I'm fucking doing really well, guy. I'm doing better than any other comic at my talent level. Any other comic at my talent level, I'm doing way better than. I kind of stink. I can't really speak very well.
Sure.
I'm not very smart, and I'm doing really well.
So you agree with that?
And by the way, I'm also doing better than I think people even have any fucking clue. So, but I don't want to get into a 2-hour podcast about how I need to change everything. Where I'm like, no.
No one's in everything.
I need to stop yelling at people in public. I agree with that. But I don't think it has much to do with my career, much to do with my comedy, much to do with how funny I am, much to do with my business sense. I think that is a personality trait that sucks, and I shouldn't want other kids to see me yelling at people in public.
Sure.
But I think that everything that makes me me is sort of why I'm where I'm at. The good and the bad. There's good ingredients and bad ingredients, and it's my job to fix the bad things in everyone's life, right? Sure. It's not comedy. If you're a fucking banker, fix the bad things, expand on the good things. You know what I'm saying? And you're supposed to just continuously, and I've done that regularly throughout my life. So I need to sometimes, as you know, I'm getting my ass kicked in this podcast the whole time for being a fucking psycho.
Well, you're not getting your ass kicked.
Well, I feel that way, and I need to pat.
Lewis, dude, listen, I love you like a brother, dude, and like. You just said the thing that I've been trying to say to you.
What?
Angrily, as if I'm
a Toys R Us kid?
Stop and think about how well you're doing. Mm-hmm. Please. Yes, thank you. Please do that. That's all. That's literally what I'm trying to get across to you. Every time a thing comes up, stop and think about how well you're doing and how much you did. And you're like, hey, I'm not funny, but I'm pretty good. Like, that's great. Please think that.
But I don't even go there because there's no conscious part of me that's going like, you know, the anger in that moment has anything to do with sort of this career or comedy or the art side of it or the business side of it. It is truly a psychological defect that I have that.
Dude, I have the defect.
I mean, if I worked at a bank, I would jump over the fucking thing and attack somebody eventually because it would just get there. There'd be a day where it's like,
yeah.
So it's not right. But I'm just saying, like, there's this correlation to like comedy and you know both the artist and the business side that I just feel like I don't necessarily see the correlation. Maybe that's what the point that I'm making is like maybe since that's what I'm arguing, I just feel like I agree that I shouldn't do those things, but
you don't have to change this is not this complicated, dude. It's actually just simple. You don't have to change everything. Like you're mostly good. There's one small thing, and I don't know what the proper term is, but it's like a chip on your shoulder, and it comes from some childhood thing.
Yeah,
I know where my childhood shit comes from, and it's driving you, and it's negating like everything that you were building. You're like, it's like, look, think about all that shit. Don't throw it away on a thing for what stakes. You know what I mean? Like, here's what we learned is at stake. All the shit you've built.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You know?
Yeah.
So act like a guy with something to lose before any, you know? You're right. There's a lot of nothing to lose talking. You could like, hey, nobody's ever given me a shit in this business.
No, I have a lot to lose, but
that will get you a crowd. But now, as a result of that getting you an audience, now you have something to lose.
I'm just saying, it's just not the same. It's just not the same thing as Owen because
it's not. No. It's not the same thing.
I just don't. It's just not the same thing.
Well,
it's going to be.
It's not that. I'm talking.
I think what you're talking about though, it's literally the reason my fans love me is because I'm willing to come to a podcast and just have that honest conversation and put it out there.
You have good fans, by the way.
They're the best fans in the fucking world.
Listen, here's the thing. On the road, because we've hung out with fans. The fans were fucking cool. They're not like they're not animals at all.
Sure.
So that's even more where it's like that should be calming your spirit, is understanding that you're bonding with people on a thing that's a good thing, essentially. That's like what the thing saving grace of this shit that could have got you in all kinds of trouble is that. So,
right, exactly. I mean, I turn those negatives into something that, like, I think, here's the thing. I think if I did have the attitude of like, yeah, well, fuck you, it is what it is. That, that's what it is. Sorry, fucking Hilton, suck my dick. Even when I'm sort of leaning into like where where I'm like, I've had other stories where I have customer service issues. I have a Build-A-Bear story that's out there for Legion of Skanks, and there was 7-Eleven. There's,
for example, I'm not allowed within any Build-A-Bear in the tri-state area. Possibly the West Coast. They weren't clear about it, but
you have like you have like bedrock psychological processes that are happening almost subconsciously. Where like some lady's like, "Hey, that's going to be 15 minutes," and you're interpreting that as like I'm being disrespected, and that unleashes a torrent of anger. That spreads across every single, like, if you think of all your relationships, there's like a limiter on your relationships due to like you perceiving things in a certain light, due to the way you grew up.
I'm a tough fucking pill. Every girl that's ever dated me, everybody that's ever been friends with me, that's
what I'm saying. No,
don't say that.
You're just like, I'm like scraping up the cement a little bit, and you're re-cementing it. Like, I'm a tough pill. It's like, no, stop that. No.
Dude, this is not you.
God damn it, no.
It's not a thing of you being a bad person, and that's what's making it hard for you is to think of it like that. It's not like
because I think I have a good moral compass,
sure,
and I think I'm a good friend and a good father.
Dude,
think of it this way: when you're
morality, it's always, dude. It's never comes from
in a bank unless the guy really didn't get my taco. When
think of it this way: when you're a little kid, and things are super stressful all the time. So you have like your prefrontal cortex. This is the front of your brain. This is where you can like when you want to get mad, you go. No, don't get mad. This is the part of your brain. So your executive
conscious.
Function. Yes. The amygdala is back here. That's the danger and fear center. So when you're little and you're always seeing stuff that's like making you scared as a little kid, your amygdala grows. So when you have all these memories trapped that haven't been processed.
So I have a huge amygdala?
Yes, your amygdala, I would guarantee if you did a neurological scan, it would be large. It would be enlarged.
Shane's
Lewis's amygdala is putting on weight right now.
So it's like when that happens, you're perceiving things in this like flight or flight, like danger thing all the time, and then it turns to situations like I'll sit back and like, what the fuck is your problem?
How old are you?
37.
Oh yeah, so most men don't really. I mean, you've been to therapy, so, but as I understand, most men don't do anything about that shit until their late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm definitely trying.
Ask your therapist about trauma theory. They'll explain that whole thing to you, and you can work with someone who can maybe better. What are you doing, like CBT? Like, what do they do with
CBD? Infinite, yeah, dude. On the show.
What do they do?
Use that promo code Lewis15, save 30%.
True.
What's CBT?
Like, what kind of therapy? Do you just talk about your childhood?
Talk about my childhood. Talk about my problems. Talk about anger. Talk about just talking.
So if you're working with someone who doesn't understand like the neuroscience of like early childhood development, they're not doing you any favors.
Yeah, probably not.
Whatever. I'm not going to bog you down with neuroscience.
No, you're not bogging me down. I appreciate you guys are being fucking, very honest with me. I just, I'm just being brought back to that hotel room with Big J right now. I'm just feeling very like attacked by my friends.
Is that how you woke up? I think that's how you woke up this morning.
I was thinking about Big J.
What'd you have a dream? What'd you dream about?
You dreamt about just that conversation with Big J.
Damn, dude.
Dude, anybody that would talk to you about it cares about you. Like, you should never feel that. The attacked is like, somehow you got something registered as attack that's not attack.
With the hotel?
Like the thing of Jay going like this or whatever, like that should be comforting and not an attack. So that for some reason.
It just brought me back to that moment. I became very self-conscious. And I did stink. There was truth to it. It wasn't like I was this great comic. He was like, you stink. Yeah, great, Keith, great. Yeah,
sure.
Well, that way
it was. But I did
why
stink.
Do you think that Keith? Why do you make a difference between?
Because I think that I wouldn't tell somebody who stunk that genuinely stunk. I wouldn't do that because to be honest with you, it's fucking. I wouldn't do it. Something that I liked,
dude. This is how you.
But I wouldn't, dude. It's not my. Everyone stinks. Let me say this.
You're not doing it.
Hold on.
If somebody big does it,
I think everybody fucking sucks at comedy. There's very few people's acts that I look at and I go, wow, dude, they're fucking really good. So who am I? So no, I don't think that like a young buck. If I like them and I'm like, that guy kind of stinks. We all know the Metzger. It's not like you know right now people in LA and New York.
I'm saying a different thing. I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, that stink. That you're like, I'm not gonna fucking just go tell them they stink. Whatever, even though you're their friend and that's the right thing to do and they should know they stink,
dude. The right thing, look, it's Jace feeling you're worth it to tell you. That's we don't have to go back to his argument. I'm saying I agree that Jay he could have said something. I think what he should have said was what I said.
Sure.
And I don't want to keep going in a circle, but he should have just said.
If he did, that would mean he didn't think you had any chance.
That's not true.
Dude,
if he would have just said the fucking truth, which is like, yeah, dude, all your jokes stink. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to break them down because you have to figure out how to make them good. Me telling you that they stink aren't going to make them good tomorrow.
Well,
it's just going to make you stink more with those same jokes. That's what happened.
I bet
I'm
you were
not
clearly
wrong.
at some point clearly competitive with him in some way before that whole thing happened. Like there was some kind of like.
No, Jay, if you beat Jay at anything, he will not be your friend. The only reason me and
That
Big
is
Jay are
true.
friends to this day, the only reason we are friends
Dude, you
is
can't-
because the first time we hung out, he brought me to his apartment, we played Guitar Hero, and he was just a little bit better. He kept on beating me, and I was good.
Yeah.
He was a little bit better. If I had beat Jay in Guitar Hero that
Yeah,
day,
he would have taken it back to
no Legion of Skanks, no Gas Digital, no fucking...
That is extremely true.
nothing was happening, dude. We were not coming
So you
down
think
this
he
path.
psyoped you early on? Was like, fuck this guy.
I used to play
Dude.
UFC with Jay, or he'd get the new one, and then like he wouldn't tell me, he wouldn't let me see the directions or tell me the buttons.
And just
you know
kicked your
how
ass.
complicated that game
Dude,
is?
so
yeah,
complicated.
It's kinda fucked up. The game's hard.
We at Knockout Kings, he took back to the store. He got that.
'Cause he kept
I
on
happened
losing.
to have played that one.
Oh, and if he loses, he'll
He's
take your game back. If
quietly-
he's not good at it, he won't try to get better. I play NBA, like 2K, whatever the year was, and I'm bad. But I would just use the All-Star team, and he would always use the Sixers.
Right.
And it was like they were like the worst team in the game, and I was like the All-Star team. And there was just one game, literally one game, where I started beating him. It's just one time ever. He would fucking dominate every time.
Sure.
One game, and like literally half time, he just stopped shooting. He's like, yeah, dude.
He
Whatever.
gave up. Oh, he gave up on you.
I got to the point where, like I
that's a
left
good
the house in a
dude.
rage.
That's a good example of that video game thing with Jay, because that's a good place to keep that kind of feel. That it's like a funny place for him to be like that. In comedy, he can't be like that. Like those kind of competitive feelings,
Yeah.
those are sports competitive feelings. They're not art competitive. Art competitive is a different. It's a different thing. Like it's not about humiliating defeats and like roast battle. I honestly, I mean, I judge them or whatever they are, what they are now, but the whole idea of a roast battle is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's not what a roast is. It's not. And then I'm the better. Like you've proven anything by winning or losing a roast
Yeah.
battle.
That's
And
not
it's
what's can I-
impossible not to feel that way doing it. When
Let
you
me
do it,
let me just sidestep that, because I agree with you that like no, I think competition for the sake of art sucks. Yes, however, it's not a real competition. Nobody looks at a roast battle. Nobody looks at the
that
winners
makes
and losers.
It's even more like the video game.
But can I tell you why it's good? And I think it's very good, actually.
What, the roast
very,
battles?
very good. Yeah, really good for comedy.
Well, because a lot of handicapped people a chance to shine. So
One of them has to win, right?
True.
There's always a winner. No, number one, it opens the window for us to say fucked up shit. It reminds us that people like hearing fucked up jokes, mean, nasty,
that's
dark,
why
dirty shit.
Now it's okay because it's one of the last spots where
Yeah, so we could say fucked up
But-
shit.
but it-
You could say anything. Anything goes into a roast battle, and that, in my opinion, is really important for comedy. It's important for stand-up. It's important for everyone to be reminded that people laugh at that type of shit, because it's not happening. If you're just going to TV, people are being trained to not laugh at fucked up shit now.
Like,
So this
it's
is why
like
you're
having
having
a man cave. Like we should have had the whole house.
yeah.
This should not be a man cave. But
And then
but
the other side of it, though, it's a great exercise that just every time I've written for a roast battle, every time it gets
I
those
don't mean
juices
that.
flowing,
I'm not
and
talking about
you
that.
know,
I'm talking about the thing of.
I think it's more of a net positive than a negative. Is what I'm saying.
I'm just talking about the competitor angle of like, well, the last comic standing, or like
That
you know,
sucks. There's
Yeah.
there's no upside to last
because
comic
by the way, it already is a competition in general. Just doing stand up, you're in competition. You got to just get people to show up. So just putting it in those sports.
Well, that competition shit is all from, and you're right. Big J does have a little bit of that in him. He does look at the successes of other people and sort of get.
Sometimes I'm shocked at ones Jay will say. Look,
Big
everybody
J,
has
Big
it.
J speaks the language of funnier better than anybody that I've ever met in my
Everybody
entire life.
has it.
Once again, Big J
Everybody-
should be another fucking bazillionaire, right? But he's not, but he's getting the success that he's wanted for a long time. But it was a slow fucking burn, considering how talented he is and how funny he is and how likable he is. Everyone likes Jay, right? He's a really, really likable dude. But you're right. I think that he was gauging his successes off of even a guy like, I think, with Kevin Hart. I think Jay watching Kevin become a fucking superstar fucked with him a little bit and set him off
You know
on
why? He's got that stupid rock and roll shit in his heart. It was get over the rock star shit. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like that shit's done. But that's what he's like with Kevin Fireworks. I'm like, do you want to have fireworks at your show?
Yeah, I think the
Jay's one of the
Rock.
funniest people. You know, Jay's like, he always thinks I don't think he's funny. If somebody's trying to tell you, Jay doesn't think you, like, Jay's one of the funniest people I've ever seen.
There's nobody that's funnier, and you put him in any medium, and he's the funniest in every medium. So if you were to put him in a car ride just talking, he's going to make you laugh.
Sure.
Script writing is just going to make you fucking laugh. He understands how to be funny. Chappelle talked about the language of funny. Jay is fluent with fucking.
He's an off the cuff, by the way. I don't know anybody as good.
Yeah.
Nobody's as good off the cuff as Jay.
But like, as long as I know him, like whatever his limiters were, because everybody has their limiter they put on themselves. So his was always like, well, I'm not really a writer. Whatever dumb shit he would say.
Which is stupid, because if Jay wanted to write an hour of clean material, he'd write the best album of clean material.
Right,
he could do it. He could just write it. If
when I met Shafir, he used to be like, I will never not do. He would only do dirty sets. That was his point of pride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It was
Ari's
fucking
great
crazy.
comic. But Ari became a great comic.
Yeah, and he dropped that stupid shit.
Yeah.
Shit, look, I don't know. I don't even understand where we're at right now. The thing you got to drop is the stupid shit where you think it's remotely acceptable.
What were you saying about? What were you saying about Jay though? Because no. We were on a point about Jay.
Look, everybody has that competitive thing, and Jay loves sports and all this shit that I don't care about.
So Jay, the reason Jay started getting real success was because I think he let go of that comparing himself to other people thing, and that's what all that comes from is massive insecurity, right? So you start to compare yourself, like, what does this guy got? What does that guy got? That's all insecurity, and we all have it. Usually we keep it in our head. When it comes out of your mouth, that means you have too much of it. Yeah, because no matter what you want to fucking say, we all sit there and go like, oh, the fucking guy's got this thing. The second it escapes your mouth, you've let control of it, and it has control of you. I think that's sort of the gauge right there. And you're 100% right about that. That was for me. Once I just stopped playing the game where, I don't try to do any of the things that the other people do. I'm in my own world. There's nobody really competing with me with what I do. I have no competition. It's completely all with myself. And as soon as I started doing that, I started seeing real success in both the artistic side and the business side. Yeah.
So just drop the last fucking vestige of your vestigial tail that you have.
I will try. Try. I'm looking at this as a therapy session today.
I
boys.
also feel like, dude, as long as you can not have a fucking a 9-to-5 job, you're slam dunking, dude.
Yeah,
that's the best. If I can just go wake up every morning and not have some dude in an apron staring at me and telling me what to do, it's like
that was literally my only ambition. That was mine. After. So,
but
that's all I care about. Literally, that's all I care about.
That right there is an imaginary line that you've created, right? And you could put that imaginary line wherever. So I mean that you can literally say, all I care about is having $1 million in the bank in a year doing comedy. And if you really cared the same way you cared about not having a day job, you would achieve that goal versus because I did the same thing. I was like, dude, all I want to do is when my son's 4, I want to make sure that I have a nice place. I've been on TV a few times. When he has a memory of his dad not slumming it, you know what I'm saying? It was a weird thing. I set the standard. I was like, when he's 4, I just want to make sure I have everything together. And then sure enough, when he was 4, was exactly when things started coming together. And it's exactly the time period and I was like, oh, I set that goal. I set that line.
Sure, yeah.
I could have just moved that line anywhere I wanted to. We have complete control of that. So I think that humility, where it's great for a comedian to have humility from an artistic standpoint, you need to think, and I have so much self-hatred, you have no idea. All that shit, believe me, I need some of it out of me, okay?
You shouldn't hate yourself at all.
Well, I have a lot of that.
No one is trying to say that you should hate yourself at any level. That's very common.
Well, I think that's where what's funny about me comes from is I've been in very, very dark places before. And I think that...
Wait, what's funny about you? That you hate yourself?
I think that's where a lot of my funny comes from, is just like this shit that's like, it's not that I hate myself. Hate myself isn't the right word. It's just a lot of darkness. Whatever it is, like the shit that's going on in my head, it's not fucking sunshine and happy thoughts.
Sure.
Almost ever. You know what I'm saying? When I'm working, this is why I'm so career obsessed and I'm so work obsessed, I sort of push it out of my head. Like the evil, you know what I'm saying, and all like the shit. Like I have every day. I think about fucked up memories and fucked up things every single day. Okay, and I become obsessed with work and I push them out of my head. And work has sort of become like a level of therapy for me. Whether it's comedy or any of the other stuff that I'm doing. So I don't even know how we got here.
Yeah, well, you were saying because, like I said, but that's cool.
We got here to avoid the original point.
Yeah,
you son of a bitch.
You can't be mean to everybody. Especially because that's weird to be like, and I do have to wrap up.
Yeah, we got to wrap up.
Just to look at like a customer service rep and like, this person has got to take my negative feelings. Can't do that. You got to go, what's this person dealing with right now? You'll end up having more and more positive interactions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Otherwise,
you know what it is though? It's like you're right. That what happens in that interaction and what's going on in my head is that I'm going like, all right, well, if I own this hotel, what would I do? What would be the correct answer here? It would be you make this guy who's obviously already upset about something, you make him fucking feel like $1 million. Sure. You're spending a lot of money to be here. Good customer service, good hospitality. It's like in that moment, it's not time to give an attitude. It's not time to double down. And then I start to however those ideas connect in my head, however I do that math and I get there.
Sure.
That starts to get me even more angry.
Well, what you said about I think that I own the hotel, or like if I own that hotel.
Yeah.
that's could be the seed of this whole thing. That's a control thing. Not saying you're like an overly controlling person, but it's like if I ran this hotel, things would be different. And then you start you set this expectation of them as if you actually do own the hotel.
But everyone sort of puts
dude rolling in who just
so everyone in life throws their expectations onto everyone else. So everyone has their own set of.
Sort of.
They do. I walk around every day. I'm told I'm not allowed to say stupid words by some fucking idiot on the internet.
Sure.
So everyone
but you
sort
hate
of,
that.
Yes. But I think that mine is more true.
I mean,
at least mine is coming from a place where, like, yeah, dude, this is how the business should run. That is.
They're saying that's how.
Let me say. Is that not true though? Step back. Step back from the situation.
Step back.
You don't think that the person behind the desk should in the moment where they're dealing with a customer, even if the customer's got a little bit of attitude or whatever, you don't think it's their job to make sure
immaterial to the conversation.
It's your job to wake up early enough. That's your job to wake up early enough to where you're not being like, hey, I'm kind of late. Make this thing as fast as you can for me.
I didn't say that. All I said was put the fucking order in and stop wasting more time, lady.
Yeah,
and stop sauntering around.
Dude, listen.
And stop wearing lipstick.
What are you
trying to do? You know you want to get fucked, don't you? You want to get fucked. You got lipstick on.
Oh, dude.
Why are you making your cheeks all red, whore?
What is your argument?
I don't even know at this point. We went off the rails here.
It's like Mac. Dude, when Mac and Always Sunny, where they made a joke about how we were trying to have the bar like a cool, fun, sexy bar. It's like, Matt, if this guy's come, I come all the time. Dude,
just stop trying to make sense of me. Here's the problem: you guys are talking to me.
You make complete sense.
No, you're dark enigma,
this is
bro.
not. This is not
complex. What'd you call me, bro? Fuck, you just call me, bro.
You're dark enigma, bro.
Dude, it's not complex at all. It's very simple.
Not complex. You are not even slightly complex.
Dude, I'm telling you, just no need for you to fight. If somebody disrespects you, fucking take it. Who cares? Yeah. Take that shit. In fact, that's where you pay your dues. Of course, it's going to happen forever. It is never going to stop happening. Okay, so it's not even the only thing that you get to control is you. Okay, you don't get to control. I really want this shit to work out how I want. Who gives it? Okay, well, you don't control that, dude. This is where that you might not want to get a devil tattoo because you need Jesus Christ.
True.
You literally need Jesus Christ.
I love you guys. Listen to me. This has been a fun one. It's been a little bit of a crazy one all over the place, but thank you guys for listening to Real Ass Podcast.
Everybody loves you. You don't listen. You have an insecurity of like where you're afraid people don't love you. Nobody's telling you bad. This is literally you built a great thing, dude. Okay, and I want you to not blow it up. Just sabotage on your own out of fear of losing it or something, or whatever the fuck that is. That's the thing of like, well, I'll just ruin it right now. Like, don't. It never. What are the stakes? Is such a good way to put it for the thing like that. Okay, what are the stakes here?
Yeah, what do you?
Because there's an appropriate time to be like that. Okay, but the stakes have to be way higher.
Yeah,
that's all.
So
what
kind
just
of soup
apply
was
to
this
the
again?
right stakes.
What kind of soup was this again?
It was clam chowder.
You're close. That's like a 5 out of 10.
I think you have a similar thing to me, dude.
It's seafood bisque. We'd be having some problems.
No, that is true. I gotta say it all the time.
All the kind of anger I have is not man. I have like a woman's anger. Okay.
Oh yeah.
It's not the same thing. You're displaying woman anger. It's not man anger. It's the fucking disproportionate time travel in your head. You're gonna pay for everything that ever happened, motherfucker. Oh. That comes from like woman abuse. I didn't get beat by my dad, so. You know, I don't. My mom was bipolar. We found out later. Mm-hmm. I know a bunch of people like that. My mom was like, I love my mom, but that
whose joke was that? Was that a Russ Maneve joke? Just a stupid old joke, where he's like she's bipolar. That means she fucks male polar bears and female polar bears.
Sounds like a Russ
Such a bad fucking joke. But he used to make me laugh so hard. Russ Maneve is the king of telling bad jokes that are hilarious. Where he's like, if you ever look at your ball skin and realize it looks just like an elephant skin, he just goes into this fucking weird thing, talking about fucking pulling on his ball skin. I don't know. Whatever. Go.
But no, there's something to that. Saying like you have like women anger, male anger are different. Women anger is like
so. That's what's and it's very dangerous for a woman anger to come out of a man. Ooh. Woman anger coming out of a woman is one thing.
You're saying I'm on my period?
You did like a period thing, and so.
Well, yeah, men shouldn't have moods at first. I mean, you should avoid as a
the black guy's looking down his nose at you because you remind me of some chick from his block. You don't want to display woman anger, and it's a thing that gets beat into men by like women when they're young.
Yeah,
and it happened, but there's like a fucking. Dante,
well, no, you know
Dante Nero. He's fucking at the best. He always says the best shit about it. He told Patrice a lot of shit that Patrice.
Yeah, I know.
But it's like Dante's benevolent king system is the way to go. It's like. you don't crush somebody when they're wrong or whatever. You like it's proportionate, because all this shit that you would hate from some fucking feminist, by the way, who's out of her fucking mind. That's this exact same thing. She goes, well, no, I'm right, and I should be able to jog at midnight while I'm drunk. And like, you think that's a reasonable thing to request of the world?
Yeah.
Of course we agree. That's how life should be. But you're going to have to on your end.
Well, it's the whole teach men not to rape thing. You're like,
sure.
Yeah, I think we have been. There's no, like,
good luck teaching them not to yell about tacos.
Yeah, start there.
But so, but just remember that, like, that's not what you want out of that. Because, you're a dad, you built a business, you got a lot of man shit. This is like whatever neglected foster kid shit.
Yeah. Well, no, it comes from my mom beating the shit out of me and not being able to do anything. You can't hit her back. Just to just take it over and over again. So, yeah, you're right. Every time somebody walks down the street and disrespects me, there's this feeling of like, oh, shit, now I can.
Yeah.
Now I can
some
swing
people
on
become serial killers from that kind of
of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Time to level. You should now level
you got to
up.
leg up. It's not that you don't have to change all this stuff. It's
I know.
just like...
I get no credit for how often I don't freak out on people, by the way.
And you won't get that credit.
Yeah, nobody uses that.
Nobody will be able to use that as... Think of all the people I didn't viciously assault. They're pretty happy.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap it. Guys, thank you so much. Matt McCusker, you're the fucking man, dude. Thank you so much, dude. You're the man. Metzger, obviously, also the man.
I meant to say chink. Was that going to... Oh, sorry. Oh, shit.
Yeah, this has been a fun one. We will be back on Monday with another Real Ass Podcast. Peace.